Lucas.com for that one. Anyway, boys, here in the reserves game is almost finished. It is the Ballarat Swans 8 goals 12-60. They're leading Melton 2-7-19. We're going to take a break here at the Alfredton Oval. Thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2E Jim. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Rock hits. Pop hits. Nothing but classic hits.
Love the music.
Better music and more of it. Ballarat's 3BA.
Australian-made furniture, made for you at Harvey Norman. Have it designed to suit your space. Australian-made lounges built for family life with options in fabric, leather, size and shape. Australian-made dining furniture available in a range of stain and size options. Matching buffets, entertainment units and more to complete your look. Australian-made quality and comfort at competitive prices with a range of options available. Support local manufacturers and choose Australian-made furniture. Made for you now at Harvey Norman.
At Ingenia Lifestyle Parkside Lucas, you'll meet early morning walk people, coffee, outdoorsy and dip in the pool people, and even late evening get-together people who just so happen to be married to those early morning walk people. Resort-style living designed for over 55s with low-maintenance homes from $530,000. Ingenia Lifestyle Parkside Lucas for life-minded people. Search Ingenia Lifestyle Parkside Lucas to book your tour. T&Cs apply.
Let Zambrero cater for your crew. Feeding your staff, hosting a family lunch, catering a fiesta with 200 of your closest relatives, Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in-restaurant or ask about delivery. With vegetarian, vegan and gluten-free options, everyone can get their feel-good Mex fix. Find out more at zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel-good Mex.
For special moments, trust Carrington Jewellery. Explore a refined collection of natural and lab-grown diamonds, natural pearls, gold and silver, along with beautiful watches. As an exclusive Swarovski stockist, discover stunning jewellery and figurines, along with a large collection of Pandora charms. Carrington Jewellery also repairs jewellery and watches, so you can keep your favourites looking their best. Visit Carrington Jewellery, 703 Sturt Street, Ballarat.
In a world that's constantly changing, being in control matters more than ever. Be the master of your fate. Until July 31, join Mercedes-Benz Financial and receive a deposit contribution from $4,000 across the demonstrator range, including Mercedes AMG and select new SUVs. Own your own financial journey and talk to Mercedes-Benz Ballarat today. Terms and conditions apply. Approved customers only. LMCT 11056.
Create the bedroom of your dreams now at Harvey Norman, your local bedding specialist. Stay warm this winter with unbeatable deals on blankets, including electric blankets, super soft blankets and luxury woolen blankets. Shop our huge range of quilts from cotton, feather and tencel to Australian wool. Feel cozy and warm with our premium flannelette sheet sets, plus quilt covers, bedspreads and coverlets. Rug up with an electric throw, priced from a hot $79. Best brands, best range. There's more in store at Harvey Norman, your local bedding specialist.
Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action, thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
And welcome back to 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E as the Ballarat Swans have made their way out onto the ground for this big clash, round 14 action between Ballarat and Melton. The Swans victorious in the under 18s and, of course, in the reserves grade. But the big game here this afternoon in the senior grade. It's a real tight tussle to call. I think Melton, they love to rise to the big occasions today, boys, and this will be a big occasion for them. They've been such a powerhouse of this competition for a number of years, and I feel like this game's got the makings for them as a real almost mini final for them as they take on a big opposition in the Ballarat Swans.
Well, they're on their day. Melton can still beat anyone. We don't forget, but in the back of our mind, we know over the past two seasons in particular, they have been a super strong club. They haven't had a huge change in personnel from season to season, so they have had their share of injuries like every other club this year, and Troy Scoble would never make excuses for that. But I just kind of feel that on their day, Melton in the right mindset at playing footy the way they like to play it can beat almost anyone, Shane.
Yeah, I think you're right. No one wants to play them in the finals, that's for sure, because on paper they still look really strong. I've done a little bit of research this week on Melton because I just don't see them as the same amount being down that end of the league. But I want to bust a myth for one. One is the injuries talk. I know early in the year they had a few, but they've actually had 10 players playing today that have played all 13 games. Correct. And haven't missed. That's the most in the whole comp. They also have Kite on 12 and Hanley on 11. And in those players that have played every week are high-quality players. Cotter, Phillips, Hickey, Borg, Al Carter, Burkus. They're all good players. They have not missed a game.
Absolutely.
So I just want to bust that myth. For one, yes, they've maybe not had the same depth in terms of what's come through when they've had injuries, and to be fair to say, other teams have had their fair share of injuries as well. Like North Ballarat have been decimated at times. Ballarat, Darley, Sabas at the moment got key players out. So let's just put that one aside. And I think for today, when Melton lose, they lose possessions, low on possessions, and they lose clearance. So that's been the key features of their losses if you look across, because 13 games in now, we've actually got a sample size where you can have a look at what's happening and what the trends are. When you look at Ballarat, it is almost the opposite. They are an extremely high possession team. When they win, they have a much higher possession differential. They're a really high marking team, and they've only lost clearance, I think, twice for the whole year, and they are in losses. And so it's almost like a coming together of Ballarat's strength versus the Melton weakness. They're on the opposite sides of the coin. So I think today, with a bit of wet weather, that clearance work is going to be so important. And if Melton can't get the footy off Ballarat, then they're in all sorts of trouble. And to go back to the point, if you lose clearance, you need to be good on intercept and turnover. Manito, who's the best player in the comp,
Bingo.
He's their highest possession getter at 33 a week. He's also he's one of their high score assist players. He's their highest rebound player and the highest intercept marker. He's only played 6 games. Now, you can't build a team around reliability on one player to be the difference, but if you're not good at clearance, you've got to be good at intercept.
Well, the other option, the guy who's filled that void at times across halfback is Harrison Hanley, who's missing this afternoon as well.
Yeah, but he's been playing mids.
And I know, but in terms of flicking that magnet back potentially to help in that stakes, they haven't got that option. And the issue with that as well, he's not even injured. He's gone overseas, which that European holiday that all these clubs have now got their players having, it can be quite detrimental at the local level. Good on him. I'll happily get away with some cold, wintry days in Ballarat for a nice European holiday, but gee, it hurts you 22 week after week.
Well, I think that the best clubs and the best coaches, and this is just my opinion, and I'm not saying everyone has to agree with it, are the ones that don't talk about injuries or absences. They talk about what's in front of them right now. And you would hate to think that at this level of footy, and it is a high standard, the Ballarat Football Netball League, that coaches are making excuses behind closed doors or giving their players an out by saying, we haven't got Manito today or we haven't got Biggie today. Whatever. I just don't think that happens. I think and I know injuries can be a factor, but every club encounters injuries. Some get them more from others, and I think Shane's just busted the myth that we probably, on me included, probably thought Melton had been hit harder by injuries than they actually have. So, and I don't think, knowing Troy Scoble, he would ever make an excuse for personnel anyway. So, my point is that every team encounters injuries. It's how you manage them, how you deal with them. And at this level of football, you should have the players to step up into roles anyway.
Well, the clear point that Shane's pointed out there as well is the battle in the middle. I mean, you've got Patrick Graham in the ruck, who's been, I think, the ruckman of the season. I think he'd be right up there in terms of in the selection.
I reckon there's a fella down at Sebas that wears no.
Plenty on the kick. Will drift right to left to a dangerous area. Oh, the mark's taken by the debutant. Kilmartin. What a stretch and a grab from the youngster.
They'll come from everywhere. Every single one of them will go to him.
Kilmartin from point blank range, and it's a good call from you, Fridge. Look at him.
Yeah.
Like bees to a honey pot. They get around the debutant, and Fiddy has got his first at senior level. And Wathabs can get it done.
Fulton out of the park.
Cross
He's
the
kicked
money.
it.
Seesawing affair now here at Mattingly Park.
take the mark. Words did well against McDonald. He retreats back with the hand pass. Dumpy kicks it up. Black is bad. Should be turned over. Mark saved by Henderson from 60. He pounds a long one from outside the paint and all the way home for Felix.
Come on.
Get it on, boys.
By most who's footy behind the footy, but you're right, to make up that makeshift nature, they do need to find a genuine avenue for goal, because outside of losing Biggie today, their highest goal kicker in season 2026 is Paddy Simpson, with who's a goal a game operator from a half forward midfield rotation. So he's got the ability to kick goals, but in saying that, it's a big ask to get big bang from your buck from your mids forwards.
Ballarat do have a couple of features around how they kick goals that are different to every other team in a comp, and your point, Sam, Biggie and Hooper accounted for over 40% of the goals, so they're out.
Yeah.
But what they do different to every other team is they'll have the footy 60, 65 out in the corridor, and they'll happily kick to a winger sliding inside 50, so from behind the kicker, or a midfielder sliding in. So they don't always kick to a forward coming up to the ball. They're the only team really that I think do it regularly. Your Luke Gray types that'll then just slide from behind the kicker inside 50 and take uncontested marks. Keep an eye out for that today.
He's been a great player for Ballarat over the last couple of years as Luke Gray, and played at interleague level as well. And under 23s a year or two back, so he's certainly one we'll keep an eye on this afternoon on 3BO Footy.
And he's been one that some sides have actually targeted in season 2026 as well. Just had a little bit of work done into him from the opposition. I'll be interested to see if a guy like Lockie Walker potentially starts inside and looks towards him around the ground. But, he's sort of one of those experienced times that Melton like to use on the tag.
Youngie, what's your view on, Alex Keith's been really strong at intercepting and being a wall there at centre-half back. The perfect matchup for him's Carter. Do you think that'll happen, or do you think both teams will try and avoid that?
I think both teams will avoid that for their own success. I think on paper you want to see that matchup because it's a brilliant matchup. One of the best key defenders and obviously one of the best key forwards in the competition.
Oh, yeah.
But to have to see them go head to head necessarily, I don't think it will happen. But from the neutral side of things, we certainly would. Let's cross down to our man Tristan Ashmore here at the beautiful Alfredton Oval, who there's a little bit of drizzles going, but you've been keeping an eye on the sides warming up, and I'm interested in your thoughts on who wins this game and also who you tip maybe for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day this afternoon.
Yeah, in terms of my tip today, boys, I'm going to stick with my theme from last week with my half-time, full-time double. Given Melton's first quarter record and Ballarat's slower starts, I think Melton will lead at the main break. But I think Ballarat will do their best work late and really put one hand on the Premiership Cup today. Ballarat by 23.
Well, that's a big call.
Yeah, in terms of Sporting Globe Player of the Day, though, I'm going to look no further than Brad Crouch in the midfield.
There you go. So Brad Crouch, an early contender there. Shane Simpson, I'm interested in your thoughts on who wins this one and why, and who are the type people you'll be keeping an eye on to maybe potentially win that wonderful $50 voucher to the Sporting Globe if they are best on ground this afternoon.
Yeah, I think it's a toss of a coin, largely because Melton have so much to play for today and they have a good team in, and the Ballarat's forward line is really interrupted. I think with the greasy conditions, I just think Ballarat's midfield will get the edge over Melton. I'll be looking at Perkins, particularly post-clearance. Perkins is the most damaging mid for Ballarat because he gets away from it. Krause does all his work at the source and organises them at stoppage, which is invaluable. Perkins is the one for mine that gets forward to centre on the burst and will kick the footy nicely inside 50.
It reminds me a bit at times of Bailey Smith sometimes the way he comes from stoppage those metres game. He's one to watch. He's certainly a much... everyone's saying he gets better and better. He's such an improved player.
And then the other guy for Melton I'll be keen to see, I just think Kite, because he's so good in the air and at the ground level, he's so hard to match up. And today we've been unpredictable. Things you might need to just take your moments in the forward line. That's Kite. He just takes his moments. So I'm really keen to see how he goes.
Well, before I get your tip, Roger Lego, my avenue for a Melton win today is that it is a scrap and wet conditions, a low-scoring game, and a guy like Kite kicks 4 out of, say, 7 goals in a winning margin. So that, to me, is the blueprint of how Melton can win the game. I actually think they generally can, so I might lean towards that tip and to that man Kite as the Swan Go player today. But your thoughts, Roger?
Yeah, I think I can certainly mount a case for Melton, but I just think on their home deck with that midfield and that midfield dominance that I expect they'll get through Graham, Crouch, Mooney and co, that'll be enough to get them over the line.
Players are moving into positions here at Alfredton Oval. Cold, wet, wintry day in Ballarat. what more could you want in the middle of July? As we are ready for a hot clash between the Ballarat Swans and the Melton Bloods. To kick things off here at Alfredton over round 14 action in the Commentary Box, here's Roger LeGrand.
So for the first time for the year from Alfredton Oval, we're live as play gets underway in the middle, and Ballarat through Graham, who we spoke about a lot pre-game, get that hit out. Didn't really go to any great effect. Kick off the ground from Melton, and they're able to get the first clearance long into 50 in the direction of Faruja. Good spoil came from Fisher, I think it was, from Ballarat, went forward. He went Gray to try and pick it up, but Melton wasn't able to do so. Graham went back over to Crouch, tapped on by Mooney. Swans with the ball and getting out now through Brad Crouch again. It's very scrappy footy. The ball's on centre wing. High tackle late, and it'll be a free kick going the way of Ballarat, right in front of us on the wing here at Alfredton Oval.
Yeah, high tackle there. Free kick go the way of the youngster in Purtle in game 4 of senior footy. Off the outside of the boot, the scrubby kick to the half forward. Might work out in the direction of Richard. He's 50 from goal. Right foot kick towards full forward. Was pulled into the direction of his forward. Handball back towards Richard. He keeps the ball moving forward, but Melton will come away with it in defence. Opportunity here for Riley Walker to go long and high towards the broadcast side centre wing. Bouncing ball in front of Kyneton. He won't get a tap on it, so you know that, boys? That's an early lasso. Free kick the other way of the Swans.
He'll go the way of Sam Battistella. He's wearing number 33 today. Become accustomed to him wearing that 29, but he's got a different jumper on today. He kicks long up the line. Mooney kind of overran the footy in the mark, and the ball came back to Brad Crouch. Got a handball out to Jack O'Brien. Handball back to Noah Drever for Ballarat, who went inside 50 in the direction of Richard. Ball came to ground. Ballarat certainly have the numbers here. Comes back to Drever. That's Jake Drever. Snaps over the right shoulder. Gee, that's a fair effort from the boundary line. Jake Drever opens the scoring this afternoon for Ballarat. Straight through the middle, and the Swans have the first goal on the Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, and we talked about the role of Richard in their forward line. He's already been in 3 contests, had a mark and a gather, and then he was at that contest and it spit out then to Drever. And just his preparation to kick, it looked a bit awkward, but he had enough time and space to really think about it and line it up, and it just curled nicely through the goals. And to be honest, didn't look like missing off the boot.
It almost had the footy, holding the footy with both ends as he sort of bended around the body. Beautiful finish and goal, and an early contender for goal today. And the opening goal, as Roger Graham so well called, goes the way of the Ballarat Swans and Jake Drever. The opening couple of minutes here on the Metro scoreboard. So Ballarat with the attacking early here at home in these dark, gloomy conditions at Alfredton Oval. Graham up against Stewart, and Stewart slipped, so should be an easy knockdown there for Graham. Hacked to the deck by Hickey, out to the vacant centre wing on the outside. Gray will lead the race for the Swans. Gets his own handball back in the end as he goes for a second time. Broke the tackle, looked left, looked right, retreated back. Good tackling pressure there came from Melton and by Walker to hold things up. In the end, Ballarat with the numbers able to work it by foot down the line. O'Brien in front. Looked like a presence down the line on a couple of occasions now. Takes the mark as he looks to go laterally inboard to the big fella and Graham. He continues on the hand pass. Teammate left behind. Turnover opportunity here. Maybe for the Bloods. Involved with Sullivan. Jack Walker, the captain, and again involved, is locked up in the tackle.
I know it's only early, it's 3 minutes in, but Ballarat have an appetite for the contest, an appetite for loose ball. They are getting their hands on the ground ball far more than Melton at the moment.
Ball to be thrown in the air on the centre-half forward line for Ballarat. Umpires found a free kick for a hold. It's going to go the way of Paddy Graham. I've been really impressed with his work rate early, just beyond the ruck work. He's moving very freely. Hicks up the line in the direction of Richard. Melton drop a player back in front and take the mark taken by Cotter overhead. He plays on quickly, comes out defensively right in front of the old scoreboard here at Alfredton, and it's a mark to Melton. Can't quite make out who it is there, Youngie, or maybe you might be able to see it.
Yeah, it's Hickey there with a long high ball towards centre wing on the other side. Graham with the tallest of the pack. He brings the ground with the spoil. Scobell Graham unable to gather. The ball has head out of bounds and we'll get a ball in.
Youngie, you spoke about Kite maybe getting on the end of a few opportunity goals today, but he's playing high. They've got Faruja and Carter deep at the moment. It'll be interesting to see whether Scobell changes that as the day unfolds, just looking at how the ball's coming in.
Yeah, certainly have noticed that as well. Was quite a bit higher than I like him, the aerial assassin. So back underway here. Knocked down there by Stewart. Will just gain essentially 5 or 10 metres forward for Melton and more towards central centre wing out of bounds position. 4.5 minutes played. Metro scoreboard reads the Ballarat Swans 1 goal straight, 6 leading to Melton yet to score. Ball virtually opposite 150 metres away from our broadcast position on the outer side. We'll go again with Stewart in the ruck against Graham. Both ruckmen went to ground. Stewart almost going away with it in these tough conditions. Quick kick come forward came on the way of the Swans towards that half forward line. Walker to lead the race. Now, was that below his knee and out of bounds? And Walker's trying to claim the lasso free kick. A little conversation will come from the umpires.
It just takes a bit of time for things to settle. We've just seen Kyle Borg playing deep at full forward. Maybe him and Clyde are going to just swap around, being small and fast, one high, one deep.
There you go. Normally, obviously, operates the racehorse on the far side wing and deep forward to start here, that rotation.
So ball comes back into play from that boundary, throwing Graham up against Stewart. Graham won it out, went to ground. Melton desperate to clear the ball out of defence, and they're able to do so with a long kick down the line in the direction of Liam Carter, who leads Keith to the ball, but the boundary umpire signals lasso. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Ballarat, and it will be taken, I think, by Keith. The ball's just kind of dipped over the fence into the primary school there. The Western Bulldogs, an Adelaide player. He's a very good player. I think, as we said pre-game, Sam Young, he could probably still be playing for the Bulldogs, such as their lack of defensive depth. He goes long up the line. Mark not able to be taken. Kick away from Jack Walker, went into the middle of the ground. He's going to turn it over with a mark to Ballarat.
So the Swans look to go forward here from centre wing outside. Long kick is in the direction again of the big fella and Graham. He's been influential. Give the handball off. Dumped in by Perkins to the lead. Richard on the move. Couldn't quite take the mark. Towards the turf. Melton survived that forward foray. Dropping the mark was Graham waiting outside 50. Now Melton trying to get a bit of run and gun with a hand pass from Carter out to space more than anything, and hope. It'll be a dump kick forward towards the half wall line, but it's all Ballarat, and by himself at the half back line. Worrying sign there. Easy mark for Keith as he'll switch it up the centre back to Dreve of the Noah variety. Rifle kicks an absolute beauty. Mark taken there by the Swans. Short ball will come his way from Perkins across here to Gray running hard. Mark centre wing on the broadcast side.
So Gray right in front of us for Ballarat on the wing, just taking his time. He looks up the line in the direction of Jack O'Brien. He'll hug the boundary line, goes over O'Brien's head and will fall over for a lasso free kick to Melton. It'll go the way of Lachlan Phillips. A little bit hit and miss for Melton at the moment moving forward, Shane Snipson.
Yeah, it's certainly a bit clunky. Just can't get any flow in their ball movement. They're just sort of dump kicking a little bit.
Well, dump kick down the line to a 1-on-3 ain't going to help their cause. Keith, the hand pass comes across to Haints. He'll go inside to Dreve, and he goes back towards the traffic because he liked the move of Simpson out wide on the broadcast wing. Now, he used that stand rule to draw the man in Gray. He's got one over the top, which he'll use with the hand pass. Perkins will be wrong-footed, so it was the foot candy back inside. Left foot kick coming from Quinlan to a dangerous area. Was cut off by Melton initially. Umpire will put his whistle in the mouth and say, I'll throw it in the air 45 metres out from goal.
Yeah, it feels like Melton have got less time and space with the ball than Ballarat. Even then, they gathered at half-back, quickly tackled, secondary stoppage inside 50. Coach Baker would be happy with that.
So the umpires, two of the three of them are wearing hats today in drizzling rain. We'll get Tristan Ashmore's views on that very shortly. Throws the ball in the air, no effective clearance. Could have been in the back free kick going the way of Melton. Umpire said no, play on. Probably fair enough. Crouch went in very strongly for Ballarat, and the ball trickled over the line. Just near the 50-metre arc here on the clubroom side at Alfredton Oval. It's drizzling down. Cold, wet Ballarat conditions.
This is where Ballarat have a bit of an advantage. They're stronger at clearance, so Melton will be trying to be in tight and at them. But then Melton have got no one to handball out to. They're all in at the moment.
Knocked down the ruck there by Melton, by Stewart. Hacked off the deck there. Came from the Bloods and by Burquest. And they didn't go the required journey, so now stoppage the results.
I would love a beanie down here, boys. It is cold. In terms of the ground, though, going off what I said before, expect most of the play to be on the wings.
So we're going to ball up 50 from goal. Thought you were more of a visor man than a beanie guy, but anyway, changes like the weather here in Ballarat every 5 minutes. And another stoppage to the results. It's almost bees to a honeypot sort of stuff here, Shane, and it's going to be, I think, a repeat stoppage after repeat stoppage. But for Ballarat's sake, they'd be happy just with control of territory.
Yeah, and they're set up well behind the ball with Graham being the extra player, and then they're working off that.
So Jack O'Brien doing the rough work for Ballarat was roved by Jack Walker. Came up the line in the direction of Liam Carter. He picks it up quite well, was tackled straight away by Keith. Keith went back and just walked the ball over the boundary line.
He could have just let that roll over then, because if Carter handballed it down, he would have got a lasso free. I felt like Keith cost himself a kick then.
He did.
But you're not allowed to let it go if you can pick it up. Is that the rule?
Well, there's an interpretation in the Ballarat Footy League, which I can touch on in a second. There's knocked down by Graham, was straight to Crouch. His handball was broken up there by Hickey. Drever came back towards the traffic, retreats the hand pass off to Perkins for Ballarat, and he steps inside with a long left foot kick to centre half forward. Fits to the ground there by the Bloods. Button left it for the racehorse. Borger, look at him go. Weave through traffic, right foot kick. We'll dump it towards centre half forward. That's more Melton DNA. Clever knock on towards Hickey by Carter. He's hand past the centre half forward. Davis goes off the deck. Just gains vital territory. Fish over ran it. Thornycroft did not. Ball still alive. Picked up by the veteran Davis. And the Silver Fox pops it through. Scores a level here. 1 goal straight 6 on the Metro scoreboard.
And they just sort of pushed it and got momentum and surged it, and then it got there in the end. But if we go back, and we spoke about this pre-game, Graham to Crouch is dominating, and Ballarat win the stoppage, goes to half-back. Who pops up? Borg on turnover with leg speed to break a line, not kick it back down to the numbers, and away they go, and they got a goal. That has got to be the template for Melton today.
And he just changed the angles. They've been for 8-9 minutes this term. They've been long down the line. Ball took the risk, went through the corridor. It was a dumb kick into the corridor, which could have been easily turned over, but hit the turf, and a wet day skid on. Melton just gets pressing forward and goal.
1 goal apiece on the Metro scoreboard. 10.5 minutes through the first quarter here at Alfredton. Throws the ball back in the air. Stewart up against Graham. Graham won it out. He's been quite dominant in the hit-outs. Early umpires found a free kick. It's going to be paid for in danger. Gosh, you could pay a few of those today if you really wanted to. And
let's get that, Roger. Jeez, that's a tough one to call.
Lockie Walker for Melton brings the ball inside 50. Juggling mark could have been paid. Umpires said no. Mooney went back in to clean up for Ballarat. Wasn't able to do so effectively. They've got the weight of numbers, and Keith's able to clear with the left boot up the line towards the coach's box, but getting back for Melton to take a strong mark. It looks like Thornycroft over there. Plays on quickly, kicks long inside 50. Kite over the back by himself. Is he able to run onto it? He is. Left boot over the shoulder. That's bread and butter stuff for Braden Kite, and Melton suddenly have a second.
That's
Two
shelling
straight,
piece.
12 goal,
That's shelling piece for Kite. He could see he was going over the back. So he just stayed down, and because it's a wet day, it slipped over. He has done that hundreds of times in his career. Great judgment. If his Ballarat opponent's going to go into a contest, he can't let it out the back, where Kite's just ready to swoop, and a beautiful finish on the left foot.
Goal 469. Let me say it again. 469 in the Ballarat Football Netball League for Braden Kite.
Like I said, when he's done it hundreds of times, that wasn't an exaggeration. He's done that over and over.
We get back on the way here.
I think it was young Battistella on him too. If he's going to go up, he's got to get
sucked into the contest, didn't he?
Yeah.
Stewart, Graham with the knockdown. Hacked to the deck there by Simpson, trying to gain distance. Walker left the square and just slides it along the wet surface and turf through that centre wing. Hand pass was good there by Ballarat. Gray's kick inboard, showed a bit of it. Melton with the press to keep the ball at half forward. He's been impressive in the last couple of minutes. Walker unable to emerge from that one though. Ballarat work it by hand. Perkins involved. Gray again. Little sidestep with Clever. Now Perkins on the overlap. He's brought down the tackle and he's gone on the footy. Hot whistle. Didn't get boots of ball, said the umpire. Incorrect disposal has to be the only reason, but I thought, again, that was a very hot whistle. And
dropped it straight in front of me, boys.
As called by Tristan Ashmore, he thought the umpire was correct. Ball comes down the line from Melton. Paddy Simpson comes up for Ballarat, kicks it slightly inboard into the middle. No mark taken, ball spills to ground. Hickey, who's been good for Melton early, goes in to pick it up. Strong tackle laid. Umpire comes in and says it'll be a ball up directly in the middle of the ground on the coach's box side of the ground, the Alfredton Primary School side of the ground here at Alfredton. Ball thrown in the air. Stewart won that one. Melton get the clearance. Long kick inside 50 in the direction of Carter. No one able to mark. Did Keith tap that ball over the line? The umpire says no, it'll be a throw-in. Just inside 50, Melton entered the ground.
The last 5 minutes, the pendulum swung here. Melton with all the attacking. Inside forward 50. They lead on the Metro scoreboard. 2 goals straight 12. Ballarat Swans 1 goal straight 6 after 13.5 minutes of football. Graham goes into defensive 50 to go against Thornycroft in the ruck. Shallow throw in favours Graham. He gets the knockdown. Simpson unable to go there. Hacked to the deck by Melton into the right forward pocket. Fisher left his man unopposed. In the end, unable to pick it up in the slippery stuff. He kept the ball alive, which is always dangerous inside your D50. Kite with the tackle. And the umpire said no prior opportunity. We'll get a ball up 35 metres out from goal, tucked in that right forward pocket.
Right in front of the scoreboard. Ballarat under siege the last 5 or so minutes after starting very positively. Melton doing all the attacking. Graham on the hit out. Ball came to ground. Snap went back towards the goal square for Melton. One-on-one contest. Carter comes out to meet it. Tackled strongly by Alex Keith. It'll be a ball up around 20 metres from the Melton goal. Stoppage after stoppage. Shane Snibson.
Yeah, it's that sort of day, isn't it, Roger? And it's sort of Ballarat stoppage work versus Melton's intercept work at the moment.
Ferrugia, unable to get boots the ball inside, attacking 50 for the Bloods. And a good tackle applied by Ballarat to hold things up in their defence. So we've played now 14 and a half minutes. The ball has lived in Melton's attacking half for the last 5 minutes or so. Graham against Ferrugia will win down the height battles. Gray, hand pass out for Ballarat. Finds teammates, they dump. Out of D50, Cotter unable to mark. Picked up by Phillips. He just gains 5 or 6 metres or so with a quick kick. Hickey got the hands free. Did he handball it? Umpire said he was held without it. Free kick will go the way of Jacob Hickey.
He's had a good start, Hickey, hasn't he, Snippo? He's got plenty of the footy, that's for sure.
He'll try a barrel, and he gets a bit of it. Towards full forward he'll go. Almost a mark there by Thornycroft. Did he duck the head? Umpire said he did. So we'll ball things up 30 metres out directly in front.
Well, what's interesting here is it's deep inside D50 for Ballarat. Melton have 2 extras out, and it's just going to take precise ball move from Ballarat, which is hard on a wet day to get in their forward line.
Ferrugia went to ground in that ruck contest, probably pleading for a free kick. Umpire said no, that was just strong body work from Ballarat ruckman Paddy Graham. Bit of push and shove taking place between Battistella and Kite as they get up from that contest. Ball thrown in the air around 25 metres from the Ballarat goal. Ball comes to ground. There's literally 20 players around that contest at the moment.
I'm not happy with that from Ballarat. Melton have a +1 for next kick, and then they've got a goalkeeper as well. It's going to be very hard for Ballarat to score at the moment.
Ball up, 35 directly in front of goal. Graham again with a decisive knockdown. First round to ground level was Kite, who's already on the score sheet with one wonderful goal. And we'll wrap things up again. So this is probably repeat stoppage 5 or 6 now. Inside attacking 50 for Melton. Owning the territory, Thornycroft against Graham. Graham again with a knockdown forward. And another stoppage the result as Gray and Simpson do the tackling this time on Hickey.
So Melton have actually got 2 behind the 43.
Yeah. One's the ruck, and one must be a forward coming up high.
One down by Graham again. Quick kick, clearing kick. Had gone the required journey in the Maple direction. He was able to hang on. Simpson extracted when many would have struggled. He did well. Thornycroft got it to Cotter. He'll dump it back inside forward 50. Carter in front, able to mark. Ferrugia coming through. He didn't gather. Fisher had a couple of nervy moments, but done well this time. Or no, he doesn't as the dumping kick. Only found one of those loose players for Melton as they look to repel again inside forward 50.
So they've built that wall around the 50 at the moment, and they forced the ball back inside 50, but it's a poor kick. Graham dropped perhaps what he should have taken. Ball went to Grant. Davis went in for Melton, wasn't able to pick it up. Ballarat under pressure here. Good tap on, comes back to Ruak. He tapped it over to a teammate in Zach Rinaldi. Got it over to Mooney. Mooney clears outside 50 for Ballarat up the line. Lux of Fortune spilled over the back. No mark taken. Ball comes out to Perkins. Fumbled a little bit and handballed back to Noah Drever. He wasn't able to pick it up either. And just through the weight of pressure, Melton are able to get another inside entry through. This time Brody Sullivan. He kicks long towards the goal square. It'll be Kite one out. Can't mark. Ball spilled to ground. Kick gets back. Gets a handball. Tackle quickly. Ball comes out to Battistella and Ballarat able to clear.
This one's going towards the outside and find a target mark taken by Quinlan, who's been in the side the last 5-6 weeks and hasn't missed a beat. He looks to launch it long down the line with a high kick to centre wing. O'Brien with the Paddy variety unable to mark as the ball hits the turf. Melton with the numbers behind the footy. They look to go to the corridor through Burke West. Off to a teammate in Button. He didn't know the pressure was coming the other way. Gone holding the ball. Richard with the tackle. Now he'll hold things up. He has Brady for a half-forward opportunity here for Rinaldi to take the mark 50 from goal. As the cavalry gets forward to give him targets, he assesses his options. He holds things up. He had short offers to go to, and in the end he does take one. Mark taken there by Simpson. He'll be right on his limits. He'll shoot from a 45-degree angle right on 50.
Roger, we spoke pre-game. That's an example of a player running from behind the kicker to get a mark. They're just on the 50. They just run behind well, Ballarat.
So Paddy Simpson, on a wet day, this might be just beyond him. He's gone back with a bit of confidence, though. He's probably going to kick from outside 50 with a wet ball. This will take every bit of his boot. He sways around to the right and he goes back. It's going to fall short off the boot. Graham tried to mark it, was knocked over. 4 behind. Ballarat 1-1-7. Melton 2 straight. 12 on the Metro scoreboard.
Rinaldi dirty on him too. Did a beautiful little tick lead back towards the Simpson on his move. He could have easily been hit up a little bit 15 metres close to the goal. So missed opportunity there. As 1-1-7 on the Metro scoreboard. Ballarat Swans to The Bloods, 2 straight 12ers. Walker will go long high down the line. Carter caught behind. This time he's forced to spoil and see it out of play. The vice-captain of Melton will get a ball in. Bert Shops from a broadcast position on pretty much true centre wing. So as it's 5 points your margin, we're approaching time on in the opening term. Did Ballarat weather enough of a storm? Melton repeat stoppage inside 450. We're able to generate a score. Ball at ground level will be tough to deal with in these conditions, and in the end the umpire will put a whistle to the mouth. Seems very wet underfoot, Tristan Ashmore. Have you been able to assess the conditions there on the ground? Is it getting worse with this rain that we've had constant throughout the opening term?
Yeah, my hands are frozen down here, boys. Can someone run me down a hot chocolate at quarter time?
No chance as the clearance goes the way of Ballarat in towards 50. Melton defence has held up pretty well so far, and they're able to clear the ball out in the direction of Haynes. What's he taken high? I thought so. Or was it a throw, Shane Simpson thought? Umpire called neither. It will be a ball up. Players get to their feet, pleading one way or another, but the umpire says we'll get on with it. It's just to the left-hand side of the circle in the direction of Melton. As the umpire comes in on very wet conditions to throw the ball up. Tap down to Jack. Walker was tackled straight away. It'll be a repeat stoppage. So if you've just joined us, Ballarat kicked the first goal of the afternoon, but it's pretty much been all Melton since. They've kicked 2 straight in very wet conditions. They lead by 5 points 20 minutes into this first quarter. Mooney with a clearance for Ballarat. Kicks towards half forward. Ball comes out in the direction of Tom Button. He got caught last time. He got caught again. Umpire said, no, I reckon you got a handball that time. Melton now with the numbers out on the wing. Kick up the line looking for Faruja now. Marks about 60 metres from goal.
Faruja wheels and deals. Dumps it towards full forward. Kai caught behind this time. Brings the ground with the spoil. Clever little hand pass will get its way across to Davis. In the pocket. Ryan Davis!
Wow.
Running away from goal. Left foot snap from the boundary. And he kicks his second.
We've had 4 goals kicked, and there's been 3 amazing snaps, really, and haven't looked like missing, have they? Given the conditions.
Exactly. Love the work rate there, Shane Stipson of Caleb Burke-West in the middle. You can see he's got the hands on the hips, and he worked from half-back, got the connecting kick, got it to Faruja, and ended up in a goal. He's certainly growing as a footballer.
He is. He had a great... He's first year at Melton coming across from, I think, Western Region Footy League, and he's made a real difference. What is also really important there is... Don't underestimate the Faruja present and lead about 55 out. That puts the Ballarat defence under so much pressure because he can kick short or long, and it just keeps all the defenders stuck, and then Melton players can show some creativity.
So it's the veterans inside forward 50 getting it done for Melton. A couple another Davis, one to Kite. That's nearly 450 games of senior footy experience in the Ballarat Footy League. Crouch on hands and knees. Let you get it back from Mooney, and right foot kick we scrub towards the half-forward flank region. Melton with that spare, and Walker will get across. Got the handball away. Clearing kick will come from the Bloods down the line. Big spoil from Gray as he fists it to ground. Ball very close to the boundary line, not even the racehorse ball quick enough to get across and keep that one alive. We'll get a boundary throw on a true centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position.
So 11 points the margin in favour of Melton as we head towards quarter time. The ball to be thrown in on the wing on the Alfredton Primary School side of the ground in between the 2 coaches' boxes. All getting quite heavy after some drizzle early in the quarter. Boundary throwing fell short. Graham, playing almost like a rover, tapped the ball in front of him, and it will be a repeat throw-in. So Melton, after starting slowly and it looked like being one-way traffic early, have hit back hard with 3 fantastic goals, all snaps over the shoulder. That would have been great goals on dry day, let alone wet, and Melton with the advantage as the ball comes back into play. Stewart tapped it down. That man we spoke about earlier, Burke-West, when he was tackled, the ball go out of bounds right in front of the Melton coaching box.
One of the only times we've been able to call a Melton hit out thus far in that ruck duel, but I'm interested in your thoughts, Shane Simpson, if you're the Melton ruck coach here, what you'd be trying to do to make Graham more accountable around the ground. We try to get a bit more proactive because you are losing the hit-out stakes decisively. Although Melton will be able to neutralise that one through Stewart again, as we'll get another stoppage. Is there anything that you'd be sort of instructing?
Losing hit-outs decisively isn't always the worst thing in the world because your mids then can just plan for Graham. What you want then your ruck to do is just disrupt Graham, not give him perfect hits. And then you can just plan for that and you can still be successful.
So throw up. Perhaps wasn't able to pick it up cleanly. Davis, I think, for Melton, he's tackled straight away. It will be another ball up. I think it's going to be that kind of Davis pushing up numbers around that contest. complaining about that, but I don't think he's got much to complain about. I thought Jack O'Brien had first, second, and third, and very comfortable with the mark. He sort of didn't look like it was his mark off the grid, it looked like it was Richard's contest. He sort of backed in, and I was comfortable that that was the mark. So O'Brien, Jack Riley, directly in front, 35, and conditions like this, these must go between these six if you're going to get better looks at the goal face. So O'Brien, with 7 goals for his own season 2026. Comes in, season through number 8, and that's simply after 2-1 lead in the measure scoreboard. That's a goal by Swans. They trailed Melton free track 18 to lead in the red side here in the opening term at the Alfredton Recreation Reserve. Well, I do feel like just taking in touch. Well, when they just can't give a big lead because that's really hard when everyone gets tired and all that stuff here and goals quickly up to the things like that. Absolutely. As many foot changes as you do in the Highlands.
Plenty on the kick. Will drift right to left to a dangerous area. Oh, the mark's taken by the debutant. Martin. What a stretch and a grab from the youngster.
They'll come from everywhere. Every single one of them will go to him.
Martin from point blank range, and it's a good call from you, Fridge. Look at him.
Yeah.
Like bees to a honey pot. They get around the debutant, and Fiddy has got his first at senior level. And what happens can get it done.
Fulton out of the park.
Cross
He's kicked it.
Seesawing affair now here at Mattingly Park.
Will take the mark. Works did well against McDonald. He retreats back with the hand pass. Dumpy kicks it up. Black is bad. Should be turned over. Mark saved by Henderson from 60. He pounds a long one from outside the paint and all the way home for Felix.
Come on. Get it, boys.
What? I'm actually just going to head there now. The difference a kitchen upgrade can make. Smooth drawers, quiet cupboards, beautiful finishes, all without the price tag and hassle of a full renovation. $3 Kitchens. Replace it, reface it. Visit $3kitchens.com.au. When a disaster strikes, knowing what to do helps keep you safe. That's the sound of Oscillate, Australia's new emergency messaging system. Oscillate sends near instant alerts to compatible mobile devices during local and national disasters. As part of the national rollout, we'll be sending a text alert to your mobile device around 2 p.m. on Monday the 27th of July. Oscillate helps keep you informed. Visit oscillate.gov.au or by the Australian Government Canada.
Australia suffer from dry eye disease. If cold winds, heaters or allergies make your eyes feel watery already, you might be one of them. Symptoms vary from dry, red, burning eyes to blurred vision. Other good news is only SME Scotland can help. Opti-Light treats the root cause of dry eye disease, not just the symptoms. Get your comprehensive dry eye assessment today at OPSM in Scotland. Opti-Light only at OPSM in Scotland.
Covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Ballarat certainly have the numbers here. Comes back to Drever. That's Jake Drever. Snaps over the right shoulder. Gee, that's a fair effort from the boundary line. Jake Drever opens the scoring this afternoon for Ballarat.
Clever knock on toward Dicky by Carter. He's hand past the centre half forward. Davis goes off the deck. Just gains final territory. Fisher overran it. Thornycroft did not. Ball still alive. Picked up by the veteran Davis. And the Silver Fox pops it through. Welcome back to 3BA Footy's home ground. Thanks to D2E Gym from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E. As we have the Melton Bloods leading at quarter time by 4 points, with Ryan Davis hitting a couple of wonderful opening quarter goals. There's the real highlights in that opening term. But I'm interested in your thoughts off the bat there, Shane Simpson, in the opening term, on how Melton got off to a pretty good start there with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, we say a good start, but Ballarat actually started really well.
Well, yes.
It's a topsy-turvy in that regard. It was like...
Yeah, probably the first 7 minutes Ballarat had control, and then after that Melton were really good. And some things played out that we sort of anticipated. Ballarat at clearance were really strong off the back of Paddy Graham and then Simpson and Crouch, and their commitment to handball and chain it out. And then Melton, therefore, had to be really good on intercept. And once they put a bit more pressure on the ball and made Ballarat sort of kick it under some pressure, then they got some really good looks. So their first goal was from a Borg run and carry turnover at the half back. Then there was a dump kick out of 50 that Thornycroft then kicked on a nice angle that came in. And then the other guy that sort of stepped up and looked good, that we probably don't talk about enough, Youngie, is Farrugia looked quite clean presenting up through sort of 40 to 60. So it sort of worked, it sort of went as I thought. Ballarat dominating clearance, getting good territory off that. If Melton don't bring pressure or intercept, then they're in trouble. Ballarat showed enough different avenues in their forward line to be able to kick goals from here. You wouldn't think that would be a worry. Richard popped up and was presenting lively. O'Brien stepped in. So I think it's pretty well poised, but it's nice to see Melton come with a clear plan to try and execute on turnover really well. And Cotter and Hickey were the two that probably generated that for Melton.
Tristan Ashmore was listening into the Ballarat Swans and Ash Baker's quarter-time address. What did Bakes have to say there to his charges?
Yeah, boys, they wanted more stoppage forward of the ball and recognised the defensive structures were really solid. They said if Melton take their chances and kick ridiculous goals like that, fair play. They wanted more spread across the ground and wanted their players to take more easier options in order to get past Melton's wall and relieve some pressure as the sun begins to come out here at Alfredton Oval.
Thank you very much, T. Listening into Ash Baker's quarter-time address, a very long quarter-time address from both sides at this break.
Might give us a chance to go around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store. Sunbury trail Bacchus Marsh by 3 points down there at Clark Oval. Up at Mars Stadium, as you heard earlier from Tristan Ashmore, Redan got away to a flyer and they lead by 19 points at quarter time, 32 to 13. Down at Darley Park, Darley a late goal in that quarter, got them within 13 points of Sebastopol, 36 to 23. And these points off to a good start under their new or temporary coaching arrangement. They lead by 20 points over Lake Wendouree.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, Redan, the big surprise there, taking up right up to North Ballarat. It's definitely one we'll continue to keep an eye on throughout the afternoon.
In good form, Redan, that's for sure. We might go to look at the Central Highlands League, keeping in mind they're coming towards quarter time as well. Skipton 41 lead Creswick 15. Newland 2 straight 12 lead Beaufort yet to score. Dunstown, the one of the form teams alongside Bungaree in that competition, it got out to a convincing lead over Ballan 33 to 8. Ballan's coach Mark Williams standing down after just one season this week. So some news out of Ballan. Dalesford, James Evans, his 350th game. What a stalwart he's been, Snibbo, for that footy club. I heard during the week he's playing senior footy with some of their kids weren't even born when he started playing.
That is right. He's been such a force out there at Dalesford, and he was looking really excited when I spoke to him this week about playing 350. Yeah,
it's a massive achievement when you think about what do we play 15, 20 games a season, providing you're fit.
He actually played. I think he started senior footy in 2004 when Dalesford was still in the Ballarat Footy League.
Yeah, wow. That's quite the achievement. So Dalesford's good form continues. They're playing second place Limont today, so 27 to 14. Warburg 12, trail Carnham Linton 25, and Hepburn 13 lead Bunningong 6, and Bungaree up against Gordon in what should be that local rivalry out in the thick mud, no doubt. Although Bungaree's ground's pretty good these days. They lead 28 to 0 in that game, Youngie. Thanks to Go Vita.
Thank you very much. As the players have made their way into position here, funny enough, the Ballarat Swans have elected not to have a starting winger on the broadcast side centre wing here.
We don't have the 6-6-6 either.
No. Chase Scoble, he would have either side of him about 75 metres of clear space.
So where's the extra?
Yeah, around on.
I'm looking for the
down there, down the back.
So,
Hanks is on his own.
Hanks is by himself. Yeah.
So Scoble's got a panic. Melton have a lead, and we're off and running for the second term here at the Alfredton Oval. One down by Graham again, flying through with Simpson. Knocks it to his own advantage, not once but twice. Now the gather up halfback. Clever was Batty. Get the footy in front. The quest was he was spun 360, got the hand pass away. Graham gets down low. He was stripped of it in the tackle, and a ball was the result.
That contest where Batty straight lined it against pressure was so important because Luke Ray got goal side of his opponent and was streaming inside 50. Well done to Batty, just a straight line it. You've got to do a lot of that in the wet weather.
So Stewart up against Graham. Graham won out. Probably nearly won every hit out bar one by our calculations. They're not getting the direct advantage from it at the moment, though, although Ballarat do have the ball. Graham handballs it over to Gray, kicks inside 50 in the direction of Jack O'Brien, dropped it, ball went to ground. Zach Maple went in, handballed over to a teammate, came back to Paddy Simpson, tackled without it. Ballarat supporters pleading for a free kick, strong tackle late, and in the end it's going to be a ball up around 60 metres from the Swans' goal on the Alfredton Primary School side of the ground.
So the Swans looking to draw first blood and take back the lead in this one. About 60 from goals, Roger Ground set. Graham again with the knockdown. Hands and knees, the Swans extract the hand pass. The quest involved to break it up. Simpson forced to the role of tackling this time. And the umpire in the hat says, I'll ball it up. And they're Well, getting plenty of disposals, the umpires today. I mean, maybe probably the fair share for Sporting Club player today. That's how many times they've had it.
So, Snibbo, we'll talk about that spare in a minute. So, after the centre
their differential in possession so great because they just handball to get someone free.
Riley Walker comes out of that kick out to Jack Walker, who goes straight up the middle. It's the first time I've kind of seen that today. They've been favouring the wings. Hanks was taken high, I thought, for Ballarat, and he's going to get a free kick right in the middle of Alfredton Reserve. His kick probably didn't go the required distance, but it didn't matter because the mark wasn't taken. Crouch went in, got a handball out in the direction for Ruger of Melton. Wasn't able to pick up, overran it. Ball went in, and umpire will come in and...
Good craft by Fisher, just absorbed the tackle, didn't handball to no one. Good, what's what we call good ball security. Well done by Fisher there. Played the percentage as well.
So they get the stoppage here to Ballarat. Doing all the attacking in this term. 4 minutes gone, and they've taken back the lead by 3 points here at the Alfredton Oval. Graham against Stewart. Graham with a clever knockdown, corridor bound. Burquest got off to Walker. Scrubby kick, gained 5 metres or so. Ericsson maybe helped with that. Umpire said no. Walker's little goal ball was broken up by Simpson, who's been good again. Crouch again, fights for it at ground level. It spills out to Simpson, now to Graham. And now the Swans on the outside with Perkins. He pounds that left foot kick inside forward 50. Bouncing balls at the back. And it'll open up the Swans and for Richard to run in and kick a goal. Comes goal kicker number 4 for the afternoon for Ballarat. And they move the 4 goals, 3-27 on the Metro scoreboard to Melton, still stuck on that 3 goal straight 18.
Yeah, they're certainly lifted around the footy, Ballarat. Just their ability to keep sharing, find an outlet, you know, have a lot of numbers there. It's something they train a lot, practice a lot, and then sort of last 5 minutes in, they've just been really strong around the footy.
There looks to be some method, didn't there?
Yeah.
Like in terms of just wasn't kick and hope.
No.
Whereas
I think with the quarter time report said Baker wanted more care going forward, and that's probably showing a bit more to chain it out more to get someone time and space before they kick, and it's really noticeable.
ball thrown up in the middle of the ground. No ruckman able to knock it out decisively. Graham on hands and knees tapped it out, but it went the way of Melton. Kick came back from Burquest. Turned it over though, and Perkins took the mark. Left foot up the middle of the ground, finds Jack O'Brien. He's just inside the centre square for Ballarat. Looks for a lead. No mark taken. Came back to Ruak for Ballarat. Overran it. Went back in. Melton good enough through Brody Sullivan to kick the ball up the line direction of Kite. Overran the footy. Came back to Heinz for Ballarat. Ducked that tackle and then threw the ball out. Free kick going the way of Kite. Right here on centre wing in front of us at Alfredton.
So the co-captain with it for the Bloods, Braden Kite. Plays on, goes to the leader, Carter. going to be pinpoint between two, and in the end, Calby arrives. Keith is paid for in the back, says the umpire, arriving late.
Wow.
So a few moans and groans for the strong faithful in for the Swans this afternoon. Your thoughts, Shane Stimson?
Yeah, I just thought that was a fair contest by all players. Play on.
Former defender talking, of course.
Oh, well, I'm
There's
not
no
sure who
hands in
made
the back.
the contact because
There was no hands.
Ruak touched the ball, so he couldn't have pushed him in the back.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Carter very lucky to come away with it as he goes long inside 50. The high kick. Big fly for Ruja!
It's been good today, Ruja.
Presenting well, isn't he?
Sometimes he just gets... All the attention goes to Carter and Kite, and he can just sort of get his own way a bit. He's sort of the forgotten forward, but he's very capable. And he's played big finals and big grand finals where he's really a high-quality player, to be honest.
That's a wonderful mark from the side. Got a little bit of lift in the air too. And to get one back after a couple of Ballarat Swans goals. 3 in a row actually here to the Swannies. So Faruja starts his approach to the goal face. 45-degree angle, about 40 metres he'll probably strike from. A slow and deliberate approach. Right foot kicks on its way. Beautiful off the boot. No issue at all. Umpire didn't move an inch. And Melton moved the 4 straight. 24 on the Metro scoreboard to the Ballarat Swans 4-3, 27.
He's got a presence about him, Faruja, and we forget that, like, he's still early 20s.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like he's been around so much longer than that.
I think we also underestimate, because he's played not so much now this season, but in other years he's been second ruck. You think he's quite a big guy, but when you get out and see him in the flesh, he plays a lot taller than his size. He's a nice size, but he's not really a large player.
Well, he's not a ruckman in terms of that size. It was more feeling that necessity more than anything because they need someone. And
he's got good spring, and he's one of those sort of long arm forwards. He gets the hands up high.
Stewart up against Graham. Graham won it out, but again, Melton able to shark the ball and win the clearance. Solomons out there by himself, wasn't able to get it. Clever play. He sees Greenshields running through the middle in the direction of Faruja. Good spoil by Fisher in the end. He got off the ground, came back to Gray from Ballarat. Pratastella looked like he was held without it. Umpire said no. Strong tackle late on the Melton player. Looked high, and in the end, Ballarat able to clear through Haynes. Ball stood over the head of Riley Walker for Melton. Jack O'Brien taps it back to a teammate in Drever. Kept the ball in play. Came back to Paddy O'Brien. Got a handball. Ballarat with numbers through Zach Maple. Got it over to Gray. Gray from outside 50. It's going to miss to the left-hand side. And actually, not even fit within the goals. It's gone out of bounds as a scuffle breaks out behind play here.
Yeah, come from everywhere here.
Was it Jack O'Brien?
Jack O'Brien was the initial one. Paddy O'Brien, his brother, came in to help, and now we've got 6 or 8 players. As
Ball's still in.
Call the football while I watch the fight.
Stick inside forward 50 here for the Swans as they retreat with the kick in the Grey direction. 35 from goal. He'll step inside off to Drever. He's kicked one wonderful snap, and now he's kicked 2. Drever's got 2. The Swans have 5. That's 5-3-33 on the Metro scoreboard to 4 straight 24.
Just the water boy there is getting in a bit tight. I like to just leave them, let the players sort it out. You don't want officials getting in close when it scuffles.
Our man Tristan Ashmore was keeping an eye on it. Cotter and O'Brien push and shove. There was a couple of heads going back with maybe some jumper punches there, and then in the end, it was O'Brien that just I had enough, and he just ragdolled Cotter to the turf, and then it was on for young and old.
Yeah, it looked like UFC 329 from a couple of weeks ago, but then the way the O'Brien brothers came in, they look like the brothers of destruction from the 90s.
He came to his brother's aid, as you would expect, and I agree with your point there, Shane Stimson. That runner there should have,
too aggressive
or
for
water
mine.
boy should have, he shouldn't be physically involved in any contest.
Tempers are raised. You just keep the officials away.
Absolutely. Play gets back underway in the middle of the ground. Tap came down the direction of Perkins, wasn't able to pick it up. It'll be another. No, he's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Melton, and Lachlan Walker comes out wide. Finds Scoble, goes up the line. Was it the arm chop free kick? It was, and a free kick going the way of Carter.
Roger, often after there's a bit of a scuffle, the umpires just look to take control and they just sort of over-officiate to settle it.
Yeah.
Ball now with a shallow entry inside 50 for Melton. They just handball forward and hope more than anything. Haynes in the way. Got it to Battistella. Ricochets to O'Brien. Jack O'Brien dumps out to centre wing on the outside. Backing back with speed will be Carter. Ballarat get across to Richard. It's tough when he wants to be careful, doesn't it?
It's off his feet,
yeah,
surely.
Yeah, it'll be a lasso free kick.
Certainly off his feet, wasn't it?
I must have crossed the line before it did hit his feet. We are a good 150 metres away from our vantage point. But
It's like calling LB from square leg, that one, wasn't it?
But we'll get a ball in, half forward for Ballarat. They lead on the Metro scoreboard by 9 points. Stewart will get the knockdown with a shallow throw in for Melton, but there's no one in particular. Slapped inside 50. Kite on the way in defence, unable to gather. And in the end, very close to the boundary line, it's going to be walked over the line or just kept alive in just inside 50 for Ballarat. 11.5 minutes gone, second term. The Swans in this term, 3 goals to the 1 goal of Melton, and have dominated the territory battle thus far in this term.
It's the ball up just outside 50. Just in front of where the change rooms used to be here at Alfredton Oval, if you can picture that. Graham on the hit out. Simpson able to get a kick inside 50, no mark taken. Cotter goes in for Melton. This does Hickey. Tackled pretty much as he picked up the footy and the ball spills out of play. So it's now around 30 metres from goal. Tristan Ashmore.
Around the ground takes to go Vita, boys. Sebas are 9 straight. They lead by 27, and Banbury has 4.
There you go, Jack Banbury. We'll have to find out what role he's playing today. He's always been a bit of a goal-kicking midfielder. Ball comes back in from that throw-in. Cotter able to get the handball. Went to no one in particular. Came back to Drever. Kicked long towards the goal square, but no one at home. And
Okay. Oh,
what's the umpire doing
what's
here?
happened here?
So the Melton player took the mark, dropped it, played on. It was Riley Walker, and then the umpire says, "We'll bring it back."
I'm lost for words as Walker goes long to the outside. Graham comes across and it's fist the out. So Walker took the mark. He immediately played on, dropped the footy, and the umpire's caught him back over his mark and allowed him to recess.
Ballarat should be filthy at that because
It's
they
either
would have
play
pressed
on
for a
or
goal.
50, one or the other.
Exactly.
It's either he's either encroached the mark and hasn't stood, or it's play on.
Yes.
Spot on, Youngie.
So we'll get back on the way here now at half forward for Ballarat. One in the ruck this time by Thornycroft. Ballarat at ground level try to extract another big strong tackle the result, and another ball up is the result.
That stoppage is another example of Ballarat being confident with the hits and just sending someone on the fly. Melton have to provide more defensive cover at their clearances at the moment.
We'll go again, 65 metres from goal. And the move is Kite, and he'll go inside with the hand pass. Dangerous dumping kick from Batty. Can't do well to trap with the one Duke, and he just pounds it to a 1-1 forward the footy. Faruja against Fisher. Bouncing ball, Fisher right on Faruja's hammer. Up against the old scoreboard, he's seen over the line, and a stoppage to the result. Inside 50 for Melton. They trail by 9 points.
Melton will be happy just to have some territory and reset with some clearance. Hasn't been up there in much this quarter, has it? Ballarat have been very dominant in the second quarter.
9-point margin in favour of Ballarat. Just ticked over 14 minutes on the Metro scoreboard. Umpire throws the ball back into play. Faruja won the hit out. Free kick for a hold. It's been paid by the non-officiating umpire, and Melton play on quickly. Walking towards the 50, comes out the direction of Scoble. Round 1, round 2. Got a handball away to Ericsson. Ericsson went onto the right boot from 20 metres out, almost directly in front. Puts through Melton's 5th. Melton 5 straight 30. Ballarat 5-3-33. Melton can't miss Shane Stimson.
No, they can't. And again, there was just a marking contest where it got out the back of the Ballarat defender again, and then Scoble came in, and then a nice little handball, and straight through.
It's brave to always go back towards the traffic too. That was by Scoble, but he was so good below his knees and found Ericsson on the fly running through. So you take a little risk sometimes inside 50, but you get maximum reward when it comes off.
What was good, I think it came from a free kick at the clearance, wasn't it? And they just got it going into that sort of 30 out in the middle really quickly, and then defenders feel nervous when it's central and it's quick.
That's the beauty of a guy like Braden Kite. We've seen him being at ground level being dangerous. Well, he was the aerial target from that. He just made those defenders nervous, as you said. Shane Stimson here wonderfully. As we go once again, 3-point margin. Graham wins it down. Straight to Perkins for Ballarat as he pounds it inside 50. Ball hits the turf. On the move was Maple.
Throw.
Did he throw it away? Umpire said he did.
Good umpiring.
Free kick holding the ball. It'll go the way of Melton deep inside D50. Batty will go long and wide with the right foot kick to the outside. He's missed his target. He's going to skip on and be out of bounds for a lasso free kick. Will go the way of the Ballarat Swans.
And Rinaldi will take that free kick. Kicks long inside 50 in the direction of Paddy O'Brien. Ball spilled over the back. Picked up by Emerton Hooper. Like his uncle, loves those ones, but on this occasion he snapped it over through for a behind. 5-4.
Gee, it was a bad error by the Melton player. He let the ball go out of play. It was a lasso. He just ran over, took his time. And the Ballarat player grabbed the ball and played on, and he wasn't there to defend, and that's nearly cost them a goal.
4 points in favour of Ballarat and the Melton scoreboard.
So Connor will play quickly, goes short, and the Bloods pound down the line. Roosh with the big spoil over the top to bring it to ground. Goes again for a second effort. Perkins over the top for Ballarat. Got the handball, the hot ball to Crouch. Just Goes the outside bit cleverly out to the waiting Drever. He goes back into the traffic. Walker sliding, couldn't mark. Opportunity inside 50 for Pirtle. Dinky kick towards full forward with a bouncing, scrubbing kick. Still alive on the move are the Swannies. Melton get number and coverage across. Phillips, one of them, has a loose play on the outside, all by himself in kind of halfback and a paddock. He takes the footy, looks up, has absolutely no one. He bounces, stops, props, clever, goes inboard, finds Hickey. Can they access the corridor? He plays on. Goes long to centre half forward. Poor kicks, missed it away there by Hanks. Ballarat with numbers will come out towards the broadcast side with the foot race on in earnest. And I'm always back in Drever on the fly.
Bailey Fraser it was who kicked it to Drever, and now he's free. Runs inside 50, looks straight in front of Paddy O'Brien. Dropped what he should have taken, but it's good enough to go back and get it. Handballs it over to Richard. Richard on the right boot has a second. And the Swans have their sixth. 6-4-40, Melton 5 straight 30. Good recovery from Paddy O'Brien after dropping what he should have taken, Sibbo.
It was, and a good ball movement from Ballarat. Gets some width off half back and then into a dangerous spot. Melton's defence was so unorganised. There was 3 Ballarat players everywhere there just to, get onto the spoils of Paddy O'Brien's little error, and then Richard just come in. That's his second, I think, Youngie.
Yeah, he's his second. And again, it was just that kick to the fat side. They were everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, and you scored it well, Roger. He made amends from what should have been an easy mark and kept his head. Didn't just drop the head and go, oh, bugger, I've dropped an absolute soda right in front of the faithful. He got his head down, got the handball away, and Richard, he's been a prolific goal kicker across his country footy career and gets his second of the afternoon. As Graham wins it down, Crouch with another possession, right for kick, go towards half forward with that bouncing ball. Pirtle up to meet it, stripped off in the tackle, umpire wave play on. Go inside 50 by the Swans again with that bouncing ball. Maple will go with the hand pass in the Simpson direction. Picked up there by Melton. Graham from the side. Tallest man in the pack comes through and takes the mark.
He won that mark through just sheer willpower. Pushed himself to the front of the contest. Kicks it to Drever, who is all by himself. So another defensive lapse from Melton, Snibbo.
They're unorganised. Again, Ballarat are very predictable. They've gone to the fat side, off a ruckman long kick slow, but just no defending. Not enough responsibility taken by the Melton defence. That's probably Graham's best mark because he had to really commit to just edge through the contest. It was a more a grit mark than being tall than everyone else.
Seen Drever snap a couple of rippers. This is with the academic drop punt. It's on its way and it fades across the face for a minor score. 6-5-41 on the Metro scoreboard. That is the Ballarat Swans. Melton 5 straight 30. 19 minutes played in the second term.
It's been good this afternoon as Jake Drever. Riley Walker from Melton prepares to bring the ball back into play. He plays on. He's got some nervous moments here. In the end, he goes I don't know what kind of kick you would call it. Mongrel punt. It went effectively nowhere, and Ballarat are going to bring it back with interest. Simpson brings the ball inside 50. Walker able to get back. He ended up dropping it. Ball went to ground, and it's going to be a ball up around 15 metres from the Ballarat goal.
I think what happened with that kick in is he was just about to kick and his leg that was on the ground just slipped a bit, and the ball drop was a bit further out than he thought. He sort of towed a munger out, didn't he?
Inside 50 for the Swans. Hickey on the move for Melton with a handball across that man with the tumble punt and Walker. His right foot kicks a bit better off the boot this time now towards the outside. Oh, well picked up there by Ballarat as they go to half forward. Right foot kicks a good one. Mark's taken there by the Swans. 150 metres open a position here. They'll go long with the right foot kick to full forward. Couple of Melton players fly, spoil each other. Ball going to be able to come away with it for the Bloods. He'll get the handball receive eventually. Now off there to a teammate in Burke Quest. Dumping left foot kicks poor. Should be cut off here by the Swans.
That's 2 defensive 50 exits. They've had time and space and they've still dump kicked it to the opposition. They've got to do better, Melton.
Ruak took the mark and came further down the ground with a 35-metre kick which hit Drever on the chest. That's Jake Drever. His kick went off the side of the boot.
That was
Brian
an attempt top, Roger.
Able to get back was the big man in Thornycroft. One of Youngie's favourite players to call, just given the name, and I'll give you a chance to do just that, Youngie.
As Thornycroft goes across there to find Kite. As they slow things up with ball in hand here to the Bloods. Short ball down the line's good. Should be marked there by Jack Walker. Handball received. Kite kept moving forward. He'll look for the 1-2 and go to the corridor. Put the stiff arm out. Got the handball away just in time, said the umpire. Clearing kick was good there by Burke Quest. Mark's taken there by the Bloods as they wheel around and pound it inside 50. On the move, Carter! Fisted away by Keith for that go-go gadget arm just to get the spoil in. And now Crouch at halfback comes away with it. They have a loose play on the broadcast side. Drever's had a panic up here. Broadcasts side. Kicks to his advantage. Then he slipped over, then he went inboard, and he found his target. Mark taken there by Emmerton Hooper, right on 50.
Just so much space. He was able to fall over, yet still kick the ball.
Goes across the 50. Rinaldi, the target in the right foot pocket.
Yeah, I don't like those kicks there. It just lets the defence off the hook. If you're unsure and there's nothing presenting, don't go long for a long point. Just get it 20 out in the hole.
And in the end, the ball up will be boundary thrown will be the result. Right in front of the electronic scoreboard that reads on the Metro scoreboard, 11 points in favour of Ballarat.
Ball thrown back into play. Jack O'Brien won the hit out for Ballarat. Burkwest, who's been one of Melton's better players this afternoon, got a handball kite, kicked it long up the line, but
it's a dump kick though, isn't it?
It's a dump kick. It's going to be a lasso free kick, and it's going to go the way of Ballarat. And
Melton need half time to come just to reorganise themselves. They're not moving the footy well forward, and their defence has got unorganised.
Just hurried, aren't they? There's no real method to their defensive exits as Fisher gets it over to Haints. I've liked his game this afternoon. Haints, great kick out wide, finds Bailey Fraser. He's on centre wing. Broadcast side, plays on, goes on to his left boot. Beautiful kick from Bailey Fraser over to Perkins, who played on very quickly, kicked towards the goal square. Petty Bryan leads in the race to the ball. Was he taken high? Umpire said no. Came back to Simpson, handballed it out. Ball spills out to the boundary line, comes back in the direction of Perkins. Round one, goes onto his left boot towards the pocket. It'll be Jack O'Brien, one up. Rinaldi fell over the back, kicked it off the ground, through for a behind. Yeah. The Swans 6-6-42, Melton 5 straight. 30 on the Metro scoreboard.
And that's where you want a pressure kick to land. Just that 20 out, puts them all under pressure. Not sure why he played on though, Perkins.
He was slow to get up too there, boys. Heavily strapped left knee.
Melton goes short down the middle and find their co-captain and Jack Walker. He assesses his option, goes long and winding outside. It was marked just millimetres inside the field. Like, no, it was not. Boundary umpire on the spot says it's out of bounds on the full free kick away of Ballarat. And he's going to give the footy back. I mean,
he should have been 50-metre penalty. The delay, he's allowed all the Melton defenders to get back.
Or something,
I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, I wanted to go to the red onion vision, but unfortunately that's not a rule in the Ballarat Footy League. Long kick towards full forward, Maple the target, Cotter with the spoil brings to the ground. Phillips does the sensible thing and rushes through for a minor score.
As much as Ballarat have been overwhelming Melton for the last 15 minutes, they're only 2 goals down. They've just got to get to half time. So I'd like to see him just hold on to the footy a bit, do something to get to half time and reset. Keep giving the footy back.
So they play on from fullback with a handball in the end, but it allows them to get outside defensive 50, come up the line in towards Sullivan. Overran the footy. Ballarat with numbers again. Fraser over to Haints. I'd like to see his numbers. Handball was smothered by Lockie Walker. Strong bump late on Simpson. Umpire said play on. Comes back to Perkins, who's been proficient this afternoon.
No right foot though for Perkins, does he?
Quinlan met heavily. Head was ducked. The Melton player down behind play. Scoble now, taken high, umpire said no. Comes back to Drever, that's Noah Drever. Kicks inside 50, Perkins' arms were taken out. Ball spills over the back to Luke Gray. Shot on goal, Luke Gray touched just before the line. 6-8-44, Ballarat, Melton 5 straight 30, 25 minutes score on Metro scoreboard.
Yeah, Melton just can't get any control at the moment, man.
Melton player down behind the footy too. We'll get an update when we can from Tristan Ashmore on
Burkwest, I think.
Yeah, Caleb Burkwest, who's getting some attention from the trainers, and it's going to be coming near his vicinity as Walker comes with the broadcast side kick towards Stewart. Graham read the cues. Hooper had his head ripped off.
No
gave it off to Simpson. He dumps it inside 50. Maple in front, unable to mark. Ball hits the turf. Walker unable to deal with in the muddy stuff. O'Brien coming through. Yeah, we didn't have it either. Umpires put the whistle away. Crouch on a hand pass was trying to find its way to O'Brien. And the umpire says, high tackle, Melton. And you'll probably hear a few moans and groans from that one. As
umpires need to get some control back here. It's just kind of slipping out of hand a little bit, I think, Youngie.
Trainer and the water carrier came out to Burkwest, boys, but looks like he's going to play on.
He was down for a long time. He was clutching in his head. So,
well, he was the aggressor in the bump, and he came off second best on that one, Burkwest.
Walker of the Jack variety. We go the right foot kick down the line. It's a good kick to find in a little bit of space there was Borg. He wanted to go quickly off to Ericsson. He'll dump a tumble punt inside 50, but didn't get great connection on the boot. He had Davis at the back, and in the way was Bailey Fraser takes the mark. About 40 out from his defence.
So Bailey Fraser, didn't see much of him in the first quarter. He certainly had a very good second. He kicks with his left boot up the line direction of Rinaldi. Wasn't able to mark. Crouch, who's been prominent this afternoon. Melton able to intercept, and Walker kicks inside 50. Kite found himself in behind, but had 3 to beat in the end, and Fraser with a clearing handball to Battistella. Over the top to Crouch. Swans with numbers. In ball looking for Perkins and turned it over. Melton with the footy on the wing.
So can the Bloods make a late charge here to pitch one towards half-time. Nice hands mark taken there by Stewart. 60 from goal. Will go to that raking left boot into the pocket and find its target.
It's wide though, isn't it?
It is wide, but it is in the sharpshooter's hands in Kite.
They haven't got a point yet though, Youngie, so maybe they're a chance to get this one.
Well, he will know how to work the
Well, they
angles.
might make it 6 straight, Simbo.
Well, I hope Ash Baker didn't put a heap of work into kick-ins because they haven't had one.
No, they haven't.
Looks like he's going to go snap around the body from here from 35. So have to strike it cleanly. Couple of steps, screw punt around the body from Kite.
Good.
And the umpire just says it's the wrong side of the post. He loved off the boot, and there's a little bit of confrontation saying they think he's kicked it.
The players were up and about. Sounded like they thought it was a goal.
The umpire didn't move either.
No, it was no great, didn't inspire confidence in me, did it?
No, so, and Kite's actually talking to the central umpire saying, I think I've got goal 470 there. I reckon I've been dobbed here one.
I reckon he'd have a fair case. So it would be interesting to watch that on the Red Onion replay.
But it's a blemish, the first one in the afternoon for Melton. 5-1-31 on the Metro scoreboard, trial 6-8-44.
So it'll be Alex Keith to bring the ball back into play for Ballarat.
He's coming this side, I would suspect.
He to escape a goal on that occasion. He plays on, as predicted by Shane Snibson.
Oi.
Gets around the player on the mark and goes in short and finds his good mate Brad Crouch. He'll get the 1-2. Stream outside defensive 50 and come long. Direction of Perkins. Found himself behind. Should have been a mark or free kick to Melton, and it'll go the way of
It's
Cotter.
a funny call. He called that too high.
It's a play a man in front for the mark.
I agree.
It's high, maybe not. As he goes laterally to find Carter, pushing high up the ground as he likes to do. He'll go short with the required 50-metre pass to Chase Scoble. He'll work the angle back to Carter, and they're going to go all the way back. Kicks in the Walker direction as they look to access the outer side of the ground with a switch. Then Phillips to the sides. He'll step through the whoopie tackle and go long and high. Sets the task for Jack Walker from the side.
That's a mark.
Got his spoil and almost his mark. Tackle by there by Richard and by the Swans, and centre wing on the outside from us. And Melton worked all the way around the back to gain no territory, Shane Simpson.
Yeah, I'm okay that it didn't quite work, but the fact they just made Ballarat defend for a bit and man up.
The
and
dumping kick,
yeah,
it was
the method was, they've got to get a bit of control back.
That's correct. That's the word that they needed to find was control.
So ball to be thrown up in front of the Melton interchange bench. Almost 29 minutes played in this second quarter. Perkins for Ballarat. Met heavily with a bump by Walker.
Yeah, didn't have it.
Umpires found a free kick. It'll go the way of that man, Perkins. He'll look to play on quickly. He's right in front of his own Ballarat coach's box. He goes on the left boot in the direction of Paddy O'Brien. Couldn't mark. Ball spilled to ground. Strong tackle laid. Probably not prior opportunity there, the umpire said. Quick kick out of the pack by Ballarat towards the goal square. Foot raises on. They'll force it through for a behind. That is Melton will force it through for behind. Ballarat 6-9-45. Melton 5-1-31 on the Metro scoreboard.
Riley Walker will bring it back in the field of play. He's had a few awkward moments from the full-back position. Plays on. He's going to go long towards the outer side with the right foot kick. Roosh from the side. Couldn't mark. Ball hits the turf. Fresh area came from Carter. And Ballarat the turnover. Draws the hand pass off to Rinaldi. Right foot kick with time beat him. O'Brien will mark.
Good call, Sam Young.
That's a killer for Melton, boys.
It is and it isn't, though, Tristan, because it's close to half-time. He had short options to just maintain possession and chose to kick the contest, and that's what comes back at you. A good team who will handball and chain and then look for someone inside 50, that you get what you deserve sometimes.
So Jack O'Brien directly in front for another one for the Swans. Going into half-time, O'Brien comes in, right foot kick, and all 17 on the ground will come pat him on the head. 7 goals, 9-51 on the Metro scoreboard. The Ballarat Swans move to in half-time. Melton 5-1-31 with a couple of goals to Jack O'Brien, to Jake Drever, to Tyson Richard, and a single to Zach Rinaldi. Whilst for the Bloods, it's 2 to Ryan Davis, singles to Kite Erickson and Conrad Faruja. Opening half of footy, that's ebbed and flowed, but in the end, I think the side that's dominated the majority of the afternoon leads at the major break. We're going to take a break thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2 Jim. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Plenty on the kick. They'll drift right to left to a dangerous area. Oh, the mark's taken by the debutant. Kill Martin. What a stretch and a grab from the youngster.
They'll come from everywhere. Every single one of them will go to him.
Kilmartin from point blank range, and it's a good call from you, Fridge. Look at him.
Yeah.
Like bees to a honey pot. They get around the debutant, and Fitty has got his first at senior level. And what happens can get it done.
Fulton
out
of the park.
Cross
He's
the
kicked
money.
it.
Seesawing affair now here at Mattingly Park.
Will take the mark. Words did well against McDonald. He retreats back with the hand pass. Dummy kicks it up. Black is bad. Should be turned over. Mark saved by Henderson from 60. He pounds a long one from outside the paint and all the way home for Felix.
Come on. Get it, boys.
Your current provider chooses not to register, we're here to help, making any change simple and stress-free. Supported living, respite, or a home with friends, you're in safe hands. Call West End Support Services Ballarat on 5336 4876.
When it's time to get the job done, make it easy, make it effective. Talk to Metrol. Metrol manufactures and supplies high-quality steel roofing, fencing and building products built tough for Aussie conditions. Need fencing? Trust the experts. Choose from a huge range of BlueScope colour bond panels, profiles and colours. Proudly local and with better service, better advice, better building solutions, you're in good hands. Metrol Ballarat, 20 Wiltshire Lane, Delacombe.
Struggling to get a decent night's sleep? Get comfy with Bedshed Ballarat's Big Brand Sale. Save up to half price on a range of big brand mattresses including Tempur, Sealy and Sleepmaker. Whatever the comfort and support you need, you'll find it at up to half the price. Plus, transform your bedroom with big savings across a range of furniture. T's and C's apply. Visit the Bedshed showroom on Howard Street, Wendouree today. Bedshed Ballarat. No one's better in the bedroom.
See the stars of tomorrow shine at the Royal South Street Society Ballarat Stedford. On now through October at Ballarat's finest venues. Watch pianoforte, vocal and aria performances at the Ballarat Mechanics Institute, alongside debating, speech, drama, dance and of course calisthenics. And don't miss the 2026 Count Pro Showcase, proudly supported by 3BA, returning to Her Majesty's Theatre later this year. Visit royalsouthstreet.com.au.
6 wicked wings, regular chips. 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 5 pieces of original recipe chicken. 10 wicked bonus pieces with a Pepsi, potato and gravy. Zing, 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 burger. Zing, 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 burger. 6 wicked wings, regular chips. Drumsticks and cheer. Christmas is here.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League, live.
And now the Swans on the outside with Perkins. He pounds that left foot kick inside forward 50. Bouncing balls at the back. And it'll open up the Swans and Richard to run in a kick. Draws the hand pass off to Rinaldi. Right foot kick with time beat him. O'Brien for mark. O'Brien comes in, right foot kick. And all 17 on the ground will come pat him on the head. Welcome back to 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to D2E Jim from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from the D2E. We're at half-time. A goal at the siren to Jack O'Brien makes it $7.9. 51 on the Metro scoreboard. The Ballarat Swans lead Melton's 5-1-31. In a quarter of footy, Shane Simpson, where the Ballarat pounded on the pain with 5-7 in that term to Melton's 2-1 to give him a handy buffer going into the main break.
Yeah, the scoreboard probably still flatters Melton a little bit in terms of the control Ballarat had. I think just the drizzle that we experienced in the first quarter, obviously that stopped. And it's just become a bit better to handle. And Ballarat, we spoke earlier about their commitment to chain out from stoppage and find someone in space. And then they started using more angles through the ground. just really opened up Melton, and they got really unorganised. And found it difficult to defend, and Ballarat overwhelmed them, to be fair. Off the back of, we don't keep the stats, Youngie, but if Crouch hasn't had more than 20, I'll go he. And Luke Gray and Perkins. And then the thing we didn't talk about pre-game that sort of can happen when your key forward's not there and your second key forward's not there, the opposition don't know where the ball's going or who's going to it. You become far more unpredictable. That's how it looked going inside. Melton didn't know who to man up, and players just kept bobbing up.
It was the disorganisation that was clearly a big factor, especially as that term got longer and longer here at the Alfredton Oval. And in the disorganisation here on the broadcast side centre wing, how many times did we see Drever by himself in a paddock? Like, he had 50 metres to himself. He clearly didn't shower this week or something, because no Melton player has been near him all afternoon. And it's just resulted then in good, smart decision-making, good looks for Ballarat. As you said, the Metro scoreboard reads it as a 20-point ball game. Very flattering. It could easily be, 6 plus. You're right.
Yeah, and then the double whammy for Melton is when they did get hold of the footy, and when they then moved it well and had time and space, they still then dump-kicked the contest and didn't then maintain territory or possession in their front half, and therefore it just lived up Ballarat's end on turnover, and it was a double whammy, and the floodgates started open, Sam.
And particularly late in that term, you saw the Bloods forced to bring Kite, Carter high up the ground. Like, we know that they're mobile types and they're capable of doing that, but without having their own focal point down there, like a Ryan Carter, like they've had in their premiership years and whatnot, they really just looked dead in front of the footy, and you were forced to dump kick and just were repelled far too easily by the Swans.
It's around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat. AFL scores this afternoon. Gold Coast coming off 8 defeats leading into today's game against Carlton, but the Blues lead by 13 points with just under 4 minutes to go in the last quarter. So Blues, you would think, should hold on there and commit the Suns to a 9th straight defeat, which, given their list we've all spoken about, and the players and the presumed quality of them, you would expect they're going to be doing a little bit different from that. So that's on the AFL. We'll have a look at some other scores in the Central Highlands to start with. So big game of Central Highlands with some significant milestones taking place. We mentioned James Evans' 350 before. I know that Nick Moran for Warburg also plays his 350th this afternoon. Skipton 71 lead Creswick 21. Don't have any scores from the Rokewood and Clunes game. Newland 21 trail Beaufort 31. That'd be an upset for the books if Beaufort were able to win that one. Dunstown 42 lead Balan 14. Dalesford 35 lead Learmonth 21. Geez, it'd be wet and cold over in Dalesford today, wouldn't it? Warburg 26 trail Carnham Linton 49. So the Saints are up and about. Hepburn, how's this for a turn up of the books? Hepburn have won one game in the last 2 years. They lead Buninyong 43-7.
No way.
That sums up the Buninyong Football Club last couple of years. They've been the dark horse for a number of years, and then they a couple of weeks ago they knock off Bungaree, and you think, oh, how far can this team go? And then to have the cellar dwellers in Hepburn show up and take a lead early against them.
7 goals to 1 on the scoreboard.
Is that at Hepburn, Roger?
That's at Hepburn.
They'll be in the fog there.
In the fog. I don't know what's going on unless they've got the scoreboard wrong. That is a crazy result. Ballarat Football Netball League scores, Sam Young. You've got some of those around the ground scores for Go Vita for us?
Yeah, certainly do. So it's all square up at Clark Oval in that big game between Sunbury and Bacchus Marsh. 3-10-28. Sunbury and to Bacchus Marsh is 4-4-28. So all square there at half time. Redan holding on to their slender lead, 5-2-32 over North Ballart's 3-6-24. Sebastopol 10-3-63 lead Darley 4-10-34. Scoreboard fluttering on there for the Borough. And then you go to East Point 6-6-42 to Lake Wendouree 2-4-16. Competitive again, which has been a pleasing sign for thus far after 6 quarters of footy under interim coach Jake Lohman. And I'll go across to our man Tristan Ashmore. He's been keeping a close eye on the net boss. See the Swans got out to a bit of a good start there.
Yeah, guys, it is a 42-goal margin down here at the netball courts. Ballarat in complete control, and Maria Nunn, who we spoke to pre-game, will be absolutely wrapped with that as Melton go winless again.
Yeah, yet to win a game in the A-grade netball in season 2026. The Bloods here at the Alfredton Oval at halftime. It's a 20-point margin. The way of the home side. Can Melton respond? We'll find out on the outside of this break. We're going to take a break. Thanks to our number one ticker, D2E Jim. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
If there's one thing we know about winter in Ballarat, it gets mighty cold. But never fear, PT and the Big Show are ready to turn up the heat with 3BA's Winter Warmers. Head to 3ba.com.au, fill in a few details, and like a heated blanket, you could be toasty warm in no time. Up for grabs, we have heaters, heated jackets, dinner vouchers, bedding, and we may even pay a winter bill for you. PT's Winter Warmers on now, thanks to Barbecues Galore Ballarat, Wash Spot Laundromat, and your snugly warm station. 3BA FM 102.3.
Something big is happening. Harvey Norman Ballarat is expanding and renovating. And to celebrate, we're bringing you huge deals store-wide. Now's your chance to save big on all things electrical, computers, furniture, bedding in Manchester. And here's the best part. We'll be open the entire time. But don't wait. These incredible expansion and renovation sale offers won't last forever. And they're available only at Harvey Norman Ballarat. Save big as we transform your local store into something even bigger and better. Visit Harvey Norman Ballarat, 1322 Howard Street, Wendouree.
Catering for your crew? Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. To find out more, head to zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's feel good, Max.
Dream Doors Kitchens, specialists in kitchen renovations, replacement doors. Sorry, as I was saying, Dream Doors Kitchens for clever storage solutions. You know what? I'm actually just going to head there now. The difference a kitchen upgrade can make. Smooth drawers, quiet cupboards, beautiful finishes, all without the price tag and hassle of a full renovation. Dream Doors Kitchens. Don't replace it, reface it. Visit dreamdoorskitchens.com.au.
I'm Georgia Love.
And I'm Sammy Peterson.
I'm a journalist.
And I am not.
So who two better people to sit down with over a wine and hear all about true crime?
Introducing Not, another crime podcast.
If you love true crime, but in the way you just want to yap about it with your mates, then you need to check out Not Another Crime Podcast.
It's a podcast that gives you all the goss and some of the gore from our favourite true crime stories.
Search for Not Another Crime Podcast now on the free iHeart app or on whatever podcast app you're listening to.
This winter, more people in Ballarat are doing it tough. Families are struggling to afford food, heating and basic essentials. The Ballarat Winter Appeal is here to help but needs your support. Donate non-perishable food, coats or blankets at Anglicare Ballarat, 14 Victoria Street, Bakery Hill, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or give online at ballaratfoundation.org.au. A small act can make a real difference this winter. The Ballarat Winter Appeal, proudly supported by 3BA.
Right now at Isuzu Ute Ballarat, you'll get 3 years free servicing on all new MUX and D-Max vehicles sold and delivered before July 31st. How good is that? 3 years free servicing only at Isuzu Ute Ballarat. Some exclusions and terms and conditions apply. LNCP 10285.
Struggling to get a decent night's sleep? Get comfy with Bedshed Ballarat's big brand sale. Save up to half price on a range of big brand mattresses including Tempur, Sealy and Sleepmaker. Whatever the comfort and support you need, you'll find it at up to half the price. Plus, transform your bedroom with big savings across a range of furniture. T's and C's apply. Visit the Bedshed showroom on Howard Street, Wendouree today. Bedshed Ballarat. No one's better in the bedroom.
Now it's back to McDonald's BFNL action, thanks to our #1 ticket holder, D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. This is 3BA Football.
Welcome back to 3BA Footy Home Ground. Thanks to D2E Gym. From Delacombe to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E, where the Metro scoreboard at halftime reads the Ballarat Swans $7.09, 51 to Melton's 5-1-31. Here as the umpires made their way underground. Both sides taking their time to get their final messages into their groups. And I'm interested in your thoughts, Shane Stimson, if you're Troy Scoble here, staring down at a 20-point margin at the major break. Are you thinking major structural changes here, or is it more about just getting back to the effort that they've shown in patches throughout the afternoon?
I think you've got to do a bit of both. Without effort, doesn't matter what happens, and they've got to have belief. They've been here a few times this year, and I go back to the North Ballarat game earlier in the season where they were up at quarter time and then lost by 70 points. It's just got that feeling about it. So I feel like if they don't come to play and put effort in, and particularly at contest, then it doesn't matter what changes Scoble makes. The changes I would make, though, is Borg hasn't been in the game at all. So I'll be moving him off the wing, maybe to half back, get him involved. The other thing they need to do is deal with clearance a bit better. They either need to have a midfielder just sitting off to meet that guy, the target guy coming through, or they've got to bring a forward up, or they've got to bring their winger in tighter, but they have to do something at stoppage, and they have to curb Crouch, because he's the source of that 5 or 6 handball chain. And the conversation I'd have with the team is they will handball, and they'll give you every chance if you bring pressure to get it off them. But if you're not there anticipating the handball, pairing off and trusting your mate to make the tackle, they will just cut you apart with their handball. So there's a bit of technique and attitude that's got to come to that, but they have to get it off them on the outside of clearance, and then they've got to move the footy with more purpose and not give it back to Ballarat so easy.
It was fascinating that term with the fact that early Melton held the winger on the broadcast side all by themselves. But when you're going, particularly when Ballarat are kicking to the end, they were kicking the second term, Graham being left-handed ruckman naturally taps to that side where the short wing is, where you would then naturally have that winger come off the square, wrap around as the extra at the stoppage to almost be like the sweeper, if you will, at times. Yeah. But they didn't do that.
I think there's something. All the Ballarat grounds now in the last month have had the centre. It didn't happen once, so there's no point being there.
Exactly, and a number of times, on the rare occasion they actually got their hands on it, it's not like they looked at to the broadcast side to use that loose player. It wasn't like, it was just in no man's land was that winger on this broadcast side centre wing. So that's a media thing, is to rectify.
Actually,
Hates really took advantage of that, didn't he?
Hates and Gray, they worked their way through their extra number, and you just never influenced anything on the wing. He needs to change that.
Certainly needs to make a structural change there, as both sides are making their way out from the halftime address. I'm not going to say I'm interested in Ashmores, but keep an eye on the benches, and it looks like maybe seeing Batista
He does look laboured, though. Like, he doesn't look like he's 100%. And if you were going to participate in the second half, Tristan, you'd think he'd be part of the warm-up.
Absolutely,
yeah,
just spot on.
So maybe one down the Swannies to start the second half. You're right. You 100% be getting a little.
Unless it's second.
Down, but he felt something potentially go in that halftime break.
Just one of the things I've observed today, it's a dual gate game, which is one of the great features of the Ballarat Footy League.
Absolutely.
And if we just look out now from our commentary box, you can just see a whole lot of junior Ballarat players having a kick on the ground, watching the senior players come out. Just such a
to the title fight to get across and see the second half of the big boys playing.
Yeah, one of the strengths of the Central Highlands arrangements is that all the juniors and seniors all play on the same day, and it feels like all the families come together. This is one way the Ballarat Footy League can help bring, all parts of the footy club together, whether that's netball or football.
Your program, so the way the spectrum is disjointed, being a part of the Riddle District Football League obviously plays in a completely different competition to the Ballarat Footy League, and then that transition to the senior team as well. It's like it's the polar opposite, I guess, of that dynamic.
Such a thorn in Ballarat's side around recruiting and being an inclusive sporting club in the city of Ballarat as it grows and becomes more diverse in the city.
Certainly right. Well said, Shane Simpson. As players are moving into their positions from the halftime break, I feel Roger Legrand at Melton has run away with it in the second half against them.
You would think Troy Scoble would be aware of that, and that's why I think it's important he does make those structural changes. Just cross down to Tristan on the bandball line. Tristan?
Battistella is starting on the ground, boys. Just like he went off for a rub down quickly and has joined his team on the field. We'll start the third quarter.
Interesting. Very fascinating.
Yeah, and we spoke.
And he's used his role really well to advantage as we start the third quarter here at Alfredton. That margin 20 points in favour of Ballarat. Here's Sam Young.
We're off and running here for the second half here. In round 14 action with Graham with another knockdown. Hacked off the deck there by Hickey and by Gray, getting across his kite over the Davis, pulls the left foot kick back towards the full forward position. Graham in the hole did well, the big fella, and he took well, stuck to his task, went with the old fist and sees it out of bounds.
That's really good craft by Phillips. Good proactive positioning. He was in the drop zone for the ball and just kept Richards out nicely. I didn't see that so much in the first half. That's great defending by Phillips.
And greater intent too. As the boundary umpire prepares to throw the ball back. And snapped over his right shoulder forward in the direction of Simpson. Good spoil from Burkwest. Pirtle off the pack for Ballarat. Kicks long towards the full forward area. Spills over the back and goes out of bounds. So changing number down there. I think that's Paddy O'Brien's gone to 32 by the looks of it, Sam.
Yeah, good eagle eye there to spot that out, Roger Legrand.
I think that wrestling match he had in that second quarter might have been the end of his jumper, would be my tip.
We'll get a minor score is the result. They move to 7 goals 10, 52 on the Metro scoreboard. A game high 21-point margin lead the Bloods 5-1-31.
So Cotter to bring the ball back into play. I wonder whether he's relieved Walker of his duties back there. He didn't have great success kicking out in the first half, Walker. Melton able to clear the ball out of defensive. To Walker, Jack Walker that is, kicks inside 50. Wasn't a great one, put too much pressure on Ferrugia and they're able to clear this time through Fisher.
Desi's options. Spearing ball inside 50, sliding, and Mooney takes the mark. Right, that 45 metres that directly. Fraser, he launches one from outside 50, and the Swans get their 8th of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's an impressive roost, wasn't it?
With a wet ball, I mean, I know we've only been playing a few minutes and he probably would have got a fresh one. That's a fair kick.
Great kick.
In the whole day.
No, they swapped. They
swap. I was going to say, because otherwise that guy umpire needs to get away from those Melton faithful after the kite conversation and that one, but not having a luck on the line are the Bloods this afternoon. The Swans by 27 on the Metro scoreboard.
They back underway in the middle, kick off the ground into the umpire. He got a possession. Great use of the body. No. Umpire's paid.
Put the arm out
He
the wrong
signalled
way.
the wrong way,
He
and then
did.
he's played a push.
Oh,
and
that's
then
Riley Fisher thought he had the free kick, and then
So did I.
from the umpire error. Poor bugger.
end result, though, is Farouja's going to line up from 15 metres in front. Sam Young, can you please talk me through that? Because the umpire signalled.
Umpires paid strength in the marking contest, and a badly needed one here from the Bloods. Directly in front, 25. Conrad Farouja comes in for his second and hits the post.
From 15 metres out.
Didn't look good off the boot, did it? Didn't spin well.
And I guess the Ballarat Swans faithful will be saying, ball don't lie, minus score.
It's the boundary umpire. Play almost in front of the Ballarat bench. They've just joined us. Ballarat in control here at Alfredton. They lead by 26 points, 5 minutes into the third quarter.
The way the ground's held up today, boys, I would not want to be playing here in the future.
Heavy conditions at the Alfredton Oval. Clearance will go the way there of the Swans, and Bob.
That's what Melton need. Put pressure on, smothered the kick, then laid the tackle. Stoppage inside 50. We didn't see that much in the second quarter at all.
They're going to hold their shape with Kite and Carter, the deepest forwards, on a number of occasions in this term already. If they can get it down there, they do have some guys with some goal threat. Graham with another knockdown. He's getting ever so close to becoming a centurion this afternoon, the amount of knockouts he's had. Clearing kick there will come from the Swans. Ball live on centre wing, will be tough to deal with. Walker in front did well for Melton. Hand pass was adventurous forward, trying to find a teammate. Ballarat try to come away with his chain hand pass to Quinlan. And in the end, the ball's gone out. We'll get a boundary throw on centre wing, virtually also in our broadcast position.
Going to be a very difficult job for you, Shane Stimson, picking the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. I dare say Graham will be in the mix. This ball comes back into play. It's a shallow throw and allowed Stewart to get a very rare hit out for Melton. Ball went to ground. Crouch, who's been in everything, another contender for that Sporting Globe Player of the Day, goes in. He's appealing for a free kick. Umpire says no. We will throw the ball back in. 7 minutes gone in the third quarter. 26-point margin to Ballarat. They're doing all the attacking in the early stages here. Boundary umpire throws the ball in. Graham won that one. Didn't get it any clear advantage. Quinlan able to get the snap over his left shoulder, gets it forward in the direction of Pirtle. Wasn't able to pick it up, neither was the Melton player, and it'll be a stoppage in the centre of the ground here at Alfredton.
It's back in neutral territory here. 7.5 minutes gone. Third term, game high, 26-point margin here at the Alfredton Oval. Graham in the ruck, wins it down again. Trying to come flying through there was Borg, but he couldn't go away with it. Ballarat chain hand pass over the top. Sweeping ball was not cleanly to Richard. Had to stop and prop, give it back. And Ballarat might get a look at the goal face, running through a goal. It's across the face and miss all and sundry and out in the full. So a good look, tuck at tight angle, out in the full was the result.
Roger, you're my umpire advisor. Do you think at that last ball up, the umpire waited for the ruckman to come over before he threw it up?
Did,
was
yeah.
just waiting? I thought that was out now.
It's supposed to be. I don't know whether he's giving them a bit of leeway given the conditions today, maybe. I'm not sure, but he shouldn't be waiting as the ball comes down the line. It's going to come back with interest. Mooney takes a strong mark overhead for Ballarat, just outside 50. Kicks along towards the goal square in the direction of Richard. Great spoil over the back from Melton. Force a boundary throw in on the clubroom side of the ground here at Alfredton.
So deep inside 50 for the Swans, the only goal in this term going their way. We'll go once again inside forward 50. O'Brien will do the ruck duties down there for the Swans. Big fist coming on top there by Melton. Alfredton up forward. Big tackle applied there by Walker. Borg, hand pass, was legged, said the umpire. So it'll come back the way of Kyle, and he'll dump it wide to the outside. Davis to target. Little man, strong of a head though, took the mark. Play on, left foot kick to the leading target, and kind of bounced at his bootlaces. He'll be hammered from behind and had no prior opportunity to the umpire, so he won't play on. Ball still alive for Melton as they scrub a kick forward. Big fist over top came from Graham. He knocked it outside 50 with that spoil. Ball's tough to be won. Hack for it. Erickson in a little pocket. Takes the mark. He plays on. Chips over top. Finds his captain and Kite taking the mark deep in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, it's a good goal opportunity from there. There's a little bit of width in it, but it's sort of just come through some opportunistic play. You wouldn't necessarily say the pendulum swung around Melton have a really clear method to kick 4 or 5 in a row at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to shape for a couple steps around the body. Screw punt kick on the non-preferred left boot. From about 20 out. Always dangerous, these sort of options. He does 2 steps, snaps, and well, that's why he's got 470 goals in the Ballarat Football Netball League. He's kicked the goal. And Melton go to 6-2-38 on the Metro scoreboard. Ballarat 8-10. 58 lead the way midway through the third term.
Like Kite made that look easy, but the level of difficulty on that.
Oh, yeah.
For someone that's not full-time, it's not their job, on their non-preferred, it's that left hand to have really good ball control to get it on the foot and not hit the belly and have it sort of spew out sort of out of bounds or into the middle. That's just such a high-quality finish that very few players can do. Even at AFL level, you always worry about that, but that was just an excellent finish by Kite, and they needed that goal.
And no winger now on the broadcast side, centre wing at all, Shane.
They've been listening. He's cross sides finally.
Finally, though, he just had a possession off the centre bounce, though, and now he's moved. That's weird.
North Ballarat within 2 points of Redan at Mars Stadium. The Marsh and Sunbury, the margin just 1 point now in favour of Bacchus Marsh. So we'll catch up on those scores for Go Vita Ballarat shortly as the umpire calls for a repeat ball up. Jack O'Brien doing the ruck work now for Ballarat. That's the first time I think that Graham's had any rest for the day. He's been super. Plenty of players around the footy. Ball comes back in the way of Davis. Got a handball over to Burke West, who's been super for Melton. Kicked inside 50. Haints fumbled. Had support, though, from Fisher. Taken high. Umpire was on the other side of it. Didn't see it'll be a ball up.
That's a better turnover method where Ballarat are chaining out and they intercepted the chain through good anticipation and then can get forward. That's what you want to see more of if you're Melton.
True's now forward. Stewart with the tap from Melton. Ball spills out to the outside for Ballarat. Next Hacker to take it in front. Was playing as Richard will take the mark. As O'Brien of Paddy Variety further afield decides to go longer. Looking for the tallest man on the field, and Graham in front. And I'll take the mark, gets down low, gets the handball off to O'Brien on his hands and knees. Umpire comes across and says, holding the ball. Good tackle applied in defence by Melton, who've been better for this last 5 minutes or so, but need to now turn that positive mindset into scoring opportunities. Walker with a free kick will come across D50 in the Phillips direction. Has to stop and prop. Retreat back to Walker, the man. A kick to full back. Right foot kick around the body from Melton to clear D50's paw. It's off hands and out of bounds it will go. And we'll get our ball in the half-back line.
I know that didn't quite work, but I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Because just kicking down the line hasn't worked, and you've got to keep moving and changing angles and make Ballarat work to get it back off you. I don't mind it. I want to see more of it.
And when you're trailing by 20 points on a wet day, you need to be adventurous, don't you?
You've got to have courage. Yep.
Every umpire throws the ball back into play. Spills over the back. Paddy Simpson for Ballarat knocked it on. Came back in the hands of Rinaldi. Got a handball unselfishly to Quinlan. Quinlan from 25 metres out. Very gettable chance. Goes to the left-hand side. He'll be kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, it was really good play. I'm not sure who handballed the Ballarat player, Rinaldi, but just good unselfish play to go and give it to someone in a better position. And it was a younger player. It's about trusting in young players. That's really good.
So the margin, 21 points in favour of Ballarat on the Metro scoreboard.
Leaves the door slightly ajar for the Bloods, though. As Walker goes long and pounds it to the outer side. Ferrugia did the bodywork early. He's paid the mark again. Handball off as they look to slingshot end-to-end. High kick is out in front of the racehorse in Borg. We know he's got great wheels. He'll set up for Borg. Can he keep it alive? He's pushed
in the back.
In the back or in the side. And the umpire says, we'll throw it in for neither.
Oh, how did he fall over?
So we're going to go boundary throwing deep in the right forward pocket.
That's usually a free too.
Every day of the week, that is a free kick. It's clear. What is the push in the back if that's not a push in the back?
Umpire says we'll throw things in deep in the right forward pocket. 14 minutes gone in the third term at the right end for Melton. Ferrugia doing the ruck work against O'Brien. O'Brien wins it down for Ballarat. And another stoppage inside 50 is the result.
Ferrugia's having a good game today. He's the times Melton have looked dangerous or got goals, he's had a hand in it somewhere along the way more often than not.
So ball up around 35 metres from the goal. Melton won the hit out.
Oh, that's deliberate almost.
Little tap towards the boundary, but I don't think you're going to get deliberate from these guys, Snippo. Although,
there was no pressure.
Letter of the law, it was
4 or 5
insufficient
metres.
intent. You're exactly right. Would have been paid.
It would have upset the Ballarat crowd, I'm sure, but
it would have. Ferrugia up against Jack O'Brien for Ballarat. Ferrugia again uses his body. Play on the umpire called. His kick was partly smothered. Ball went to ground, and another insufficient intent, although boundary umpire is blown out of bounds just as the Melton player kicked. It'll be a throw-in around 20 metres from the goal.
So a few nervy moments deep in the fence here for the Swans.
It looks like the drizzle set back in. What's the ground feeling like, Tristan, at the moment?
Yeah, it's not nice down here, boys. Expect the conditions to get worse.
Ball in, shallow ball. Ferrugia on the move, and the ruck knocks it down. Ballarat numbers around the back of the contest, and Fisher. Umpire says it's a throw.
Oh,
that's a big call in the moment.
The game alive if they get one here, doesn't it? Well and truly.
So we're going to exit through Fisher. The ball was thrown to him, and the umpire hot on the whistle says incorrect disposal, throwing the ball, free kick Melton.
And again, it's that man. No, it's not going to be. I thought Ferrugia was going to be the recipient of the free kick. Umpire's changed his mind, but he just kind of influences things, doesn't he, Ferrugia?
Yeah. So I think it's Archie Greenshield's the beneficiary of it. Tucked in the right forward pocket.
Banana or drop punt here, Sam?
Well, I reckon he's going to drop punt. That's what he shapes with. That's what he kicks, and he misses near side, minus score.
Kite would have done a left foot screw punt there, wouldn't you think?
Well, it's literally the same position as where Kite had
I think it was Walker.
Thank you. But still, went with the drop punt and went near side for a minus score. It's a missed opportunity as the Swans look to exit on the outer side with a quick kick out from the full-back position. And off hands and out of bounds, it will go. Metro scoreboard reads 8 goals, 11-59. Ballarat Swans, they lead Melton 6-3, 39.
Full time at the netball, boys. Ballarat by 59 goals, 82-23.
The Swannies get another win. Didn't win a game last season. That's number 6 by my calculation. The two draws in there as well. They'd be very happy with the performance of their netballers. Ball thrown back into play. Thornycroft up against Jack O'Brien. Comes back in the direction of Fraser. Just managed to get a handball. Came back towards Sullivan for Melton. Entry will come deep in the direction of Ferrugia. Good spoil from Fisher.
Great spoil.
He's played tightly on Ferrugia today. Just been outbodied a couple of times, but on that occasion did the job.
Well, early Battistella was on Ferrugia, I think, and then Riley Fisher got swapped over in the second, and he's looked pretty good at that point.
Good match-up there in the Aero Dukes.
It's almost like Melton's form's improved when it's been wet and drizzly, and when it's drier, Ballarat have really taken control.
Ferrugia doing the ruck work will win it down. Dreve will pick up inside defensive 50 and snap around the body. He'll come back with the interest, although Walker drops the mark. Stops and props and then just pounds a high ball inside 50 to full forward. Big pack of players. Voids the turf. Cleared by Battistella. It gets out D50 but marked by the Bloods.
They're getting that re-entry work really well at the moment because Ballarat are dump kicking and they've just set up the extra number around the arc and they're looking all right at the moment.
So Burquest pounds a high footy really long and really high. A few Swans players flying. Ferrugia kept it alive. Snap out of the contest. It came from Davis, but was across the face for a minus score. Almost a Cardinal sim with 3 Swans flying there. Neither marking. Ball stayed alive. Clever knockback by Ferrugia into the corridor. They couldn't make him pay on the quick snap. Back to a 19-point ball game here on the Metro scoreboard.
He's a very, very clever player. He's Conrad Ferrugia. The Melton Guns as Alex Keith for Ballarat brings the ball back in. He over-hit the target, so could be a chance here for Melton. Davis tried to do too much with the fend.
See, do you have Pryor? I don't know.
The Pryor will be the fend, I would imagine. Right, so, in the circumstances, probably fair enough. Free kick comes back to Fisher. Finds a teammate now. I think it's Crouch out there. The rain's coming down quite steadily. No, it's Rinaldi, actually. Rinaldi goes down the line. Finds a teammate almost in front of the Melton coach's box. Ballarat streaming numbers forward. Kicks come back. Finds Bailey Fraser.
Melton have to pair off and just get Ballarat to kick the contest here.
And that's what they're going to have to do. So Fraser comes down the line towards 50. Early contact on Jack O'Brien. Walker goes in for Melton. Handball comes out the back. Just handballs into packs, and Melton under a bit of pressure now. Erickson goes in. Batty goes in. He picks it up. Handball come over the back, and Melton are out. Long kick towards half forward. Ballarat have the numbers back. Strong mark taken there by Riley Fisher, who's been very good this afternoon.
Yeah, just roamed by himself across half back there. Was able to take the mark as Melton looked threatening to go forward. And looked threatening for the last 5 or so minutes, but haven't been able to capitalise on the score sheet. Comes across to Battistella. Right for kick on the outside's good. Mark taken by Fraser as the Swans show some control here as we approach time on in the third term.
Yeah, Melton have to stop their marks, don't they, to try and keep it up their end.
It's in Ballarat's DNA. They love to kick mark and pound it down the line on this occasion. Fisted forward there by Melton. And high contacts will go the way of the Bloods and of Erickson. He's got a loose player in Davis at half forward.
Good mark.
He'll take the mark in the wet stuff. 48 metres out from goal. Dry day, no problem. Wet day, he's going to take his best, the veteran. Over 200 games of senior experience as he looked to go, and in the end...
Should have been a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah.
Zach Rinaldi got too close on that far side, and he wasn't next to a player.
Well, we saw one last time in the AFL where the Melbourne
that was
player.
100 times worse than the one in the AFL, that one just then.
Davis, outside 50. She's struck it. Wow.
What a great kick.
The veteran pins the ears back and gives Bloods new life. As we go into time on into the third term, Davis has 3. Melton have 7 goals for 46 on the Metro scoreboard. Just to pin one back and give him a little sniff.
Yeah, he just got off. He just went lateral for a left footer, got momentum. But in the weather, with the rain, it's raining reasonably heavy. The footy's heavy. To kick a goal from outside 50 is just a great effort, isn't it?
Fantastic kick from Ryan Davis.
They're there within touch. They're
3
back to
goals
13
this
points.
afternoon for Ryan, the veteran. And as you say, Shane Snipson, well and truly within touch. 13 points the difference. Umpire throws the ball in the middle. Graham wins out for Ballarat. Put himself back into the ruck now. Kick off the ground from Melton. Out into space. Batty flew. Knocked it over the back. Came to Gray. Snapped onto his right boot up the line. Pirtle overrun the ball. Kick off the ground from Melton. Back to Sullivan. Handball onto Carter to ball. Taken high. Umpire said, yeah, and then meant the second time. It's 50-metre penalty. It has to be.
Yes.
Whilst innocent, I don't think there was anything untoward in the Drever making contact, Jake Drever. It definitely warranted a 50-metre penalty, and it's going to happen. So this will bring Borg. Geez, that's a short 50.
Yeah, when we
that's
buy
about 30 metres.
We'll not be buying land from that umpire. But Borg can send Melton to attack with that momentum. Right foot kick in the Carter direction. Big spoils top came there by Keith. Rouch just did the big fist forward.
That's deliberate.
And the umpire says,
surely that's a free kick.
We'll throw it
Every
in.
day of the week.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I guess he had some players in the vicinity. Maybe I'm trying to make an argument here.
Insufficient intent was written for that very moment.
Just making an argument for the umpire. I think maybe that he might have got it wrong. All right. Back underway inside 50 for Melton, who are coming hard as we are in red time. Kick around the body by Walker was the required journey. Umpire says yes. Mark's taking a bit of Haints on the last line defence.
It's been very good this afternoon as Zach Haints, trademark long locks. He kicks up the line, the direction of Richards. Ball spills over the back. Strong tackle laid on Hickey, and the umpire comes in and says, I will throw the ball up. Look, the umpire's defence, not great conditions this afternoon, but they don't get any easier than that free kick, that's for sure. Throw up. Stewart. Tap down. Crouch. Handball out. Batty leads in the race for ball for Melton. Cleverly kicks it off the ground to a dangerous spot. Out comes Kite. Handball over the top to a teammate. Snap off the left boot. It's going to roll through, is it, Youngie?
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah, wonderful finish there by Melton, by Carter.
Was it Thornycroft, actually?
Yeah, sorry, it's Thornycroft.
Your favourite player.
Yeah, it was just. I was just admiring the work. of Kite coming up forward and just below his knees, so clean as you said.
So clean. Even Batty, just decision to just kick it off the ground, was totally the right thing because there was a bit of space in the forward line. But Kite's clean, isn't he?
He was always going to be the difference, I felt, for Melton to be any chance in this game. And now they're 8-4-52 on the Metro scoreboard. The Ballarat Swans stuck at 8-11-59. 7-point ball game. game on here at Alfredton Oval.
Just the 8 goals in his career, Austin Thornycroft. He hasn't been around a long time, but not a renowned goal kicker. It was a amazing bit of footy from the Bloods, and suddenly, as you said, Sam Young, they're back in the contest. Simpson with a kick off the ground. Melton are going to win the clearance, though, again. Kicking a lot of ball off half-back. Graham overran a footy. Davis off the ground wasn't kicking in danger. Umpire said yes. Called advantage, and Ronaldo kicks inside 50.
Ronaldo go inside 50 with that right foot kick. Leading the race is Richard. Got an unkind bounce, and in the end, is touched and out of bounds. It goes.
It's no coincidence that Melton, when it's rained, Melton have been good, and when it was dry, Ballarat were all over them. I think there's something in that.
It's just that surge footy mentality they've had in the last 10 minutes particularly, and you summed it up well with Badage hacking a forward. A couple of times they've hacked it from centre clearance out to the vacant centre wing when they've had a player by themselves for the entirety of the afternoon. So just getting the footy moving forward has worked ever so well for the Bloods, getting themselves back in this contest. They'll get the clearance, right foot kick around the body from Hickey's, a high ball to centre wing on the outside. Haynes with courage on the side, balls it out of bounds, really emerging in front of our eyes as they...
Yeah, this might be a time where Graham has to take a different approach. Their preferred approach is either hitting forward or hitting lateral, but Melton seem to be stacked up there at the moment and getting their fair share of clearance. Maybe Graham has to start hitting away from goal a little bit.
Shallow throw in. Will favour Stewart, who was in front position there. In the end, it's going to be recalled in for another boundary throw. We've played nearly 25 minutes in the third term.
Because the weather's sorry.
Down to you, Tristan.
Around the grounds, thanks to Go Vita, boys. Sebas led by 40, and Jack Banbury has 6.
Well, we'll have to find out what's gone on down there, because whilst he averages about a goal a game, Jack Banbury, I don't think there's too many times Sam Young where he's managed 6.
Oh, wow.
That throw-in results in another ball up. This one right in front of the Melton bench on the Alfredton Primary School side of reserve. It's going to be another stoppage. We've had plenty of ball-ups this afternoon. Troy Scope will be pretty happy with this, Snibbo.
In touching distance as we approach the three-quarter time siren. Graham with another knockdown. One either way here. Massive. As a quick little ball forward by the Swans is going to have bounds. There'll be a lasso free kick. It will go the way of Melton. As there's still that little bit of precipitation here that's invaded the afternoon. As Burke West will go to centre wing. Off hands of the Ballarat Swans defender. Graham's going to have to get down low to pick it up. He's unable to do so. Melton continue just to hack it forward. Opportunity for a big tackle there by Ericsson. Spun 360. Will throw it in.
Really a case for the lights to be turned on, I think.
Well, you got a red team in Ballarat, a maroon team in Melton, a red footy on a dark afternoon. So either a yellow ball or the lights on. Either way, I'd be happy.
Ronaldo streams from the clearance. Kicks long inside 50, but Nelson on this occasion have the numbers back through Carter. Plays on. Kicks the ball towards the wing. Hainson Batty. Gray came in to support. Good work by Borg. Over to Hickey. Up the line towards Faruja. Fisher did well, actually. Played him tight. Borg tried to get it off the ground. Fisher went back in to pick it up for Ballarat. Didn't have the footy. Support comes in. A strong tackle laid by Hainson. It'll be a ball up right in front of us. Centre wing. Ballarat player very slow to get up on off the ground there, Sam Young.
Yeah, he looks like he just caught one right in the bush, Zach Maple there. Just generally checking, I think he's generally checking the mouth guard and the teeth. He's just not very happy with the facial structure after that one. He's already got the head bandaged as well, so he's had a tough afternoon. Sullivan maybe have that umpire wave play on. And in the end, another repeat stoppage the result as bottom of the pack, O'Brien sat on by Lockie Walker here on True Centre Wing broadcast side.
It's an opportunity now for Melton to get some clearance because Graham's not rucking.
Got to try to take that little advantage, and Stewart will get it with the knockdown. Just tapped it forward. Gray held without a free kick every day of the week to Luke Gray on that occasion. So Gray will be the beneficiary. Defence side centre wing on the broadcast side. Slows things up, takes a breath. Been good again and assesses his options. Long right foot kick towards half forward. Quite a good overhead, couldn't mark from Melton. Waiting down was Phillips. Right foot kick around the body, back to centre wing. Gray and Borg in a one-on-one ball. It's the turf. Carter playing the role of Rover. Right foot kick in the corridors, dangerous. Haynes left his man, got the spoil down, and now Perkins will come the other way. Spearing left foot pass. Maple able to gather. Melton clear with the rushed hand pass. Hacking off the deck was Walker. Only as far as O'Brien, though, was just in a little pocket of space. And he's paid the mark.
Rule now for that little mush.
Yes.
For Maple, I think it is.
It's the guy that got one here.
Just going to go get assessed by the
Zach
train.
Maple, yep.
Whether it's coming from the mouth or the nose, not sure, but it looked like mouth from my vantage point.
So it'll be Jack O'Brien when Brad Crouch comes back on the ground to replace Zach Maple. He'll center wing, he plays on, kicks long up the line. It'll just stay inside the boundary. Strong spoil there from the Melton defence and out of bounds.
It's a poor kick though. Like, it's long, it's wide to the pockets. Exactly what the Melton defence wants. It's just too easy for Ollie Walker to get a fist in there and set out play. Even the player marks, he's going to be shooting from outside the boundary of field of play from 45, 50 metres, and you're really just hoping for a young player there take a clunk inside 50 to be any chance.
29 minutes gone in this third quarter. Maybe he was playing for time, Youngie. Maybe he wanted that stoppage to try and get the three-quarter siren, because Melton have been doing all the attacking in the latter half of this quarter. Ball comes back into play, spills over the back to Paddy Simpson, goes over his left boot. Getting back courageously and sliding into the goalpost was Riley Walker. He's managed to save the goal through from behind. Melton go to 8-5-53, Ballarat 8-11-59.
Simpson's been very dangerous this afternoon in the clearance stakes. Short ball from Walker. Oh, Sullivan dropped one. Now he has a problem. Good enough to get away from the whoopie tackler. Pounds one long high down the line. Fisher, a good proactive position, couldn't gather. Carter on the fly coming through. Keefe will slide in. Left it behind though. Kite, quick hands. Off to a teammate there in Carter. Dumps the south ball. Half volley was Fraser. He missed it. And now an opportunity here for Melton inside. Thornycroft. He didn't know if he could go left or right. He kind of went neither. And in the end, Carter goes off the deck. It was almost a Panenka kick by accident.
That's hard to do because he tried to kick it on his left and missed it, and then his right foot actually kicked it accidentally.
I don't think he watched much of the World Cup, did Austin Thornycroft.
No, he did not. A valuable chance gone missing for the Bloods. That margin 7 points as Ballarat, conscious this time in this game, are playing a bit of kick to kick. Ball comes back to Noah Drever. Plays on out the clubroom side here at Alfredton. Comes up the line. Finds a teammate in Riley Fisher. His marks on defensive 50. So the Swans, they know the state of the game. They know the other half of this quarter has been all Meltons playing for the siren. Kick comes down the direction of Gray. Did that make contact from Phillips?
No.
Umpire said no, so we called play on. Walker goes in, as does Emerton Hooper. Strong tackle made on Berkwest. Should be rewarded. Free kick going to Emerton Hooper for Ballarat.
Yeah, strong tackle there, pinned the arm and incorrect disposal of Hooper. We'll give the handball off there to Perkins. He'll pound it inside 50 for the Swans. A strong mark in front. It was Richard who just had the drop zone advantage and in front. This is a big kick as we approach the three-quarter time siren. It was set up by the youngster Hooper though with the tackle to win that 50-50 ball. Ham on the fly, running through his Perkins, as you know he loves to get those metres gained to a one-on-one. And now a shot on goal coming up for Richard. Kicked a couple, made the most of being the number one guy thus far this afternoon, and he starts his approach. Right behind this, the best seats in the house, thanks to our good friends at D2E Gym. Slow, steady, accurate, dead-eye dip. Pops through his third and gives the Swans some much-needed breathing space on the Metro scoreboard.
Shane Manley liked that one, he did. He opened up the window in the Ballarat box and screamed his delight. It came at a valuable time, Shane Stimson.
Well, I think it's a response to Ballarat starting to get nervous around what the scoreboard's looking like. They're in total control at half-time. It's been wet all quarter. Melton have done well to get back to within 7 points. It's 32 minutes gone. They needed that.
And you take the goal off the siren to O'Brien. Now you take this one in the 30.
And the miss by Thornycroft down here when, you know.
Just a couple of late quarter goals in a low-scoring,
in a tight moments, don't you?
Exactly.
So the Swans get that, as I said, that handy buffer as we approach the three-quarter time siren. 13 points on the Metro scoreboard in favour of the home side.
So not long left, one would have thought. There was the blood rule, which took some time off the clock. Stewart won the hit out. Davis tried to knock the ball forward. In the end, kicked it off the ground. Ball came back to Gray for Ballarat. Went on with a check side right boot up the line. Melton player dropped the ball, or dropped the mark. He probably should have. And in the end, they're content to get the ball out of play as the siren sounds. To end quarter three here at Alfredton. Ballarat 9-12-66 lead Melton 8-5-53 on the Metro scoreboard. Still anyone's game, you would think. Good quarter from the Bloods. Sam Young, you got the goal kickers for us?
Yeah, for the Ballarat Swans, 3 to Richard up forwards being the real focal point. A couple to Drever and O'Brien.
Plenty on the kick. They'll drift right to left to a dangerous area. Oh, the mark's taken by the debutant. Martin. What a stretch and a grab from the youngster.
They'll come from everywhere. Every single one of them will go to him.
Martin from point blank range, and it's a good call from you, Fridge. Look at him.
Yeah.
Like bees to a honey pot. They get around the debutant, and Fitty has got his first at senior level. And what happens can get it done.
Fulton out of the park.
Cross
He's kicked it.
Seesawing affair now here at Mattingly Park.
Will take the mark. Words did well against McDonald. He retreats back with the hand pass. Dummy kicks it up. Black is bad. Should be turned over. Mark saved by Henderson from 60. He pounds a long one from outside the paint and all the way home for Felix.
Get him, boys.
Lunch, catering a fiesta with 200 of your closest relatives? Zambrero is here for you. Zambrero offers catering to suit any size event. Pick up in restaurant or ask about delivery. With vegetarian, vegan and gluten-free options, everyone can get their feel-good Mex fix. Find out more at zambrero.com.au/catering. Zambrero, it's Feel Good Mex.
Adulting is hard. No one really teaches you about taxes, budgets, or buying property. Raising kids doesn't come with an instruction manual. And what even is inflation? The best we can do, if we don't know something, is find someone that does. And at Real Estate Home Loans, we know home loans. From the hows, whats and whos of buying to the whys and whens of refinancing. At Real Estate Home Loans, we'll make the financial side of adulting easy. Head to www.rehl.com.au and book an appointment today. Real Estate Home Loans, we're here to help.
G'day, Jason Hodges here. Like me, you know that life happens on lawn, and my mates at Strathair Instant Lawn have been producing world-class grass for over 50 years. Whether you need a play space for the kids, a barbie area for your mates, or an outdoor spot for the pooch, Strathair offer a lawn for every yard or project. From the hardy Tiff Tough Hybrid Bermuda to the greener in winter fescue. Call Strathair for a free quote today, or go online to strathair.com.au.
Commerce Ballarat is thrilled to present the 21st B31 August Business Festival, a month-long festival offering a diverse lineup of opportunities, events, seminars, roundtables, breakfasts and more. Whether you're a business owner, an employee or just starting out, there's something for you. Full program at commerceballarat.com.au. The B31 August Business Festival, proudly presented by Commerce Ballarat, sponsored by City of Ballarat, BJT Legal, Small Dog Design, Ballarat Times News Group and 3BA.
Something big is happening. Harvey Norman Ballarat is expanding and renovating. And to celebrate, we're bringing you huge deals store-wide. Now's your chance to save big on all things electrical, computers, furniture, bedding in Manchester. And here's the best part. We'll be open the entire time. But don't wait. These incredible expansion and renovation sale offers won't last forever. And they're available only at Harvey Norman Ballarat. Save big as we transform your local store into something even bigger and better. Visit Harvey Norman Ballarat, 1322 Howard Street, Wendouree.
Ballarat's 3BA, covering the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Live.
Spearing ball inside 50, sliding, and Mooney takes the mark. Right, that 45 metres out directly in front. He'll give it up to Fraser, who's a thumping raking left foot kick. He pins the ears back, bangs it from outside 50, and gets it all the way home. Hooper will give the handball off there to Perkins. He'll pound it inside 50 for the Swans. And a strong mark in front. And he starts his approach. Slow, steady, accurate, dead-eye tip. Welcome back to 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to our number one ticket holder, D2E Gyms. From Dallas to Wendouree, you're never too far from a D2E. As we'll go straight down to our man Tristan Ashmore, who was listening into the Melton Huddle that's just broken up. And what did Troy Scoble have to say at his three-quarter time address, T?
Boys, the first message Troy Scoble had was that they wanted to stay disciplined in this territory battle in wet conditions. They relished the fact that they love the desperation and effort of the boys, and they identified they had more numbers around the contest. Overall, the message was play the minutes, stick as brothers, and bring the heat in order to get a scalp and make a push for finals.
Very strong worded message there to finish from Troy Scobell, giving a bit of belief to his charges there to come from behind and win this one. Shane, what are your thoughts going into the final term here at Alfredton Oval?
Yeah, I think Scobell's summarised things pretty well. There's no doubt the rain has changed the complexion of the game.
Absolutely. They've played at their best when it's wet.
Yeah, and that's because Ballarat just can't quite get that chaining and overuse possession, and with a bit more desperation and anticipation, they could get the ball back, and they did just surge at a time, and they did look for territory, and that's sort of easier if you're committed when it's a bit wet and greasy.
Around the grounds for Go Vida, Sunbury 17-point leaders over Bacchus Marsh, North Ballarat. So Redan haven't kicked a goal since quarter time. So Redan kicked 5 in the first quarter and haven't kicked one since. So North Ballarat now 17-point leaders. They've kicked 5 goals to none since quarter time. Sebas on their merry way, 42-point leaders over Darley, and East Point 68 lead. Lake Wendouree 24. Here's Sam Young.
The final term here at Alfredton Oval. Graham in the ruck wins it down for the Swans. Hand pass retreats there by Ballarat and by Perkins. Hat kick forward. Maple in front and able to merge away from Cotter. And in the end, a stoppage at half forwards. Probably the outcome for the balls did spill free as I speak, and Melton tried to surge in the direction of Davis, who's been super. Clever knock to just keep the ball alive. Eventually it's walked over the line by the Swannies between two coaches' boxes. We'll get a ball in.
Question for you, gentlemen. Just thinking as it seems Zach Maple out there with the heavily strapped head. Does Tristan qualify for finals if... because Footscray won't, I don't think, in the VFL. Does that allow him to play for Ballarat?
Should. I think he's played
5 or 6.
I think he's played 5.
So that should be enough. As the ball comes back into play, kick off the ground by Simpson. It'll be a lasso free kick going the way of Melton. He'll be a handy addition. He'd be a 1-pointer too, given he's played all his junior footy here and add to their midfield depth. And Simpson would be the same, I would think.
Yeah, wherever you'll play finals though, because they're second on the ladder if he's still getting selected.
So Ballarat with a few soldiers to come back in as Melton stream forward in the direction of Farouj. A great spoil on the end from Fisher. And as you said before, Snibbo, his second half has been terrific.
It has. I had a look at the Footscray VFL draw for the Maple. They play Richmond this weekend and they should win. They're 2 games out of that wild card setup, so I wouldn't rule them out mathematically yet. But he'll be a big addition back. Just his run off half back.
He's been averaging 25 disposals.
Yeah, he's really settled in. He had 27 touches last week at Bulldog.
Melton inside 50 with the dribbling kick. Carter unable to outpoint Keith. They kick the ball live to the Bloods inside 50, although eventually the umpire will put a whistle in the mouth and say, I'll throw it in the air 20 metres out, tucked in the left forward pocket as that rain has really just sat in since midway through the third term here at Alfredton Oval, making it hard as the lights were forced to come on in this final term as the dark, gloomy conditions covered the oval here between Ballarat and Melton. Knocked down there like Farouja, and off hands will go out of bounds. We'll go to the boundary throw in 25 metres out, tucked in the left forward pocket.
So almost in front of scoreboard, Pete. And I say that genuinely. That's what they call the old scoreboard here at Alfredton Oval in recognition of Pete, who's been doing the old scoreboard here for many a year. Does a great job too, does Pete, as Ballarat try to get their clearance through Battistella, not able to get to it. Ball, kick went about 8 metres. Umpire called play on. Correct call by the umpire on that occasion. Melton were appealing for the mark. Ballarat able to clear the ball out of defensive 50, long down the line, but there's no one home for Ballarat. Allows Riley Walker to pick it up. Comes out in the direction Button. Button goes long up the line. Finds Walker, Jack Walker. Handball onto Scoble. Scoble comes inside 50 and finds Carter.
It's the one to give up those in Ballarat Swans defence, because Carter's now forced to centre it towards full forward. He wanted to go quickly, which I understand the method. Execution poor. Mark taken deep in the fence by the Swans.
Jack O'Brien, I think it is.
Yep, deep in the deepest heart of the defence. He'll going to waltz his way out of defence, pound a long footy out towards the outer side. Richard the target. In the end, he sent it further afield and out in the full. And opportunity for Melton to repel. First goal this final term, massive.
With the exception of the second quarter, Walker's played that goalkeeping role and done pretty well. He's mopped up quite a few Ballarat entries there, just being the deepest defender for Melton in a bit of space.
So it'll be a free kick when the ball eventually does return. It went out in the full by a fair way, actually, and ended up near one of the neighbouring fences. And Cooper Batty will be the recipient for Melton. He's going to take the kick right in front of the Melton bench. He plays on. He kicks long Inside 50, Faruja, big fly. Spoil over the back came from Fisher. Ball went to ground. Ballarat able to clear. Back in the direction it came. Richard found himself in a good position. Dropped perhaps what he could have taken. The ball spills out of play in front of the Melton box.
As Walker's just having a bit of another number change, it looks like.
He's gone for the short sleeve.
Yeah, and
certainly hasn't warmed up, Youngie.
No, hasn't warmed up. Our man Tristan Ashmont's actually physically frozen to his spot. That's how cold it is down boundary side.
And drenched.
As we'll go again on the outer side. Melton there to get the quick kick forward from Jack Walker to go to the quiet junior umpire said no. Haynes unable to intercept. Somehow got back in his direction off the ricochet. Dump kick forward was tough to deal with. Melton coming through. Button couldn't quite get the boots of ball. Umpire won't play on regardless. Davis, he went below the knees, sliding into the Swans player.
Wow.
And contact below the knees, I believe. No, he's going to say in danger. It could go either way. If you can picture at home, it's...
The umpire signalled the wrong way again.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that free kick is literally either way. When we go back to the AFL years ago, that Lindsay Thomas Gary Rowland situation.
The Melton player.
That's gone in danger is the free kick.
He had his legs taken out from under him.
It could have gone either way. That's the thing.
No, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He had his legs flipped out.
I'm just saying.
Dangerously.
Free kick goes to the Ballarat Swans.
I'm going to look at that on the replay when I get home.
Yeah, that's a good one to look at. There'll be a couple that you can look at this afternoon, I dare say.
Free kick was the way the Swans, they were long down the line, out of bounds. We'll get a ball in.
Be thrown right in front of the Melton bench. No advices this afternoon, just bennies, I would have thought, Tristan.
Can we get a Lucas Poncho, Youngie?
Oh, yeah. Add that to the list.
This merchandise store is getting bigger than Ben Hurst. Should be a free kick there to lock and walk. Umpire said no. Ball comes up the line. A bit of an arm wrestle there. Keith allowed Bailey Fraser to come through and handball it back to Luke Gray. He snapped over his right shoulder up the wing. Good spoil coming from Lachlan Walker, and it'll go out of play. In that same area of the ground where there seems so much of the footy seems to have been played.
It's not windy, but or maybe the trees are moving a little bit. It must be heading over that way because we haven't had much play.
No, it's been all in front of that Melton bench.
Ball in, centre wing out of sight from our broadcast position as described. Fist forward there by Graham. Melton get numbers around the footy to get the clearance of the high ball down the line. Thornycroft unable to mark. Waiting down well there was Borg. Got boots of ball towards half forward. Ball to turf. Dangerous areas here as Melton stream at half forward. Opportunity for Carter. Gives it off to Davis. Tucked against the boundaries. Getting a couple of spectacular goals. This one's right to the top of the square. Faruja off the deck. Got it! Somehow got boots of ball to Conrad. Flew up in the middle of the pack. Brought it to the ground. Soggers the goal. And we're back to single digits here at the Alfredton Oval.
Cheap goal, Shane Stimson. You don't like giving away those ones.
You don't, but I'm not sure it's a cheap goal. There was a really good contest outside 50 that I think Thornycroft kept it in front. There was a good ground ball. Then there was another ground ball with a runner that was coming past for a quick handball. So, yes, in the end, it might have been cheap.
Just the kick off the ground when all he needs to do is knock it through.
I agree with that, but there was a lot of good, in pretty poor and tough conditions, a lot of good touch.
So suddenly we're back to within 7 points in favour of the Swans, 7 minutes into the last quarter, so there is still time on the Metro scoreboard. Thrown up in the air, and they're going to win the clearance again, and streaming through the middle of Melton. Kicks long towards Faruja. Spoil came over the back. Kite's got it. He's got round one, round two. They're within a point.
Wow.
The Bloods have their 10th. 10-5, 65. Ballarat 9-12, 66. Great play out of the middle.
Davis, he's been super today, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's been Melton's best and injected into the midfield in this final term. He was the man that pounded the full forward coming out of the stoppage. And then again, this from centre bounce. That's the first time Melton's looked threatening from centre bounce.
That's their best centre bounce all day.
And then Kite, again, so smart not to fly. Gets the crumbs, kicks his third for the afternoon. It's a 1-point ball game here at Alfredton Oval. Grandstand finish thanks to our No One Ticket ID D2E gyms here live on 3BA's Footy's home grounds. We get the best game every week.
I might be getting old, Youngie, but there's this old backman's rule that if he flies, you fly. If he stays down, you stay down.
And we're going to wait for the footy to come back. The dual game has now finished, so they tricked that ball went miles over to the other ground. Kite, no net behind that end. The net's at the other end of the ground. He sent it nearly for a goal on the other field. That's how far it's gone.
He wanted the fresh footy, you see. Melton have got all the momentum.
Down by points.
Wow, she's on for young and old now for the next 20 minutes, isn't it?
Big moments in this game. 9-12, 66 Ballarat on the Metro scoreboard lead Melton 10-5, 65. We're up and running with Graham with the knockdown. Hacked up the deck by Melton. It'll go to Sanar forward. Mark's taken by the Bloods and by Gray behind the footy.
It's actually Emerson Hooper who's snuck behind there. He looks very similar to Gray. He's playing down back now after playing forward for all day. Emerson Hooper comes up the line. Will this be a last free kick? The umpire says no, it's going to be... Melton are trying to claim the free kick, and I reckon they've got every right to it because I don't think anyone touched it. Now the field umpire is going to come in and say something. So no, after all that kerfuffle, it's going to be a throw-in.
Do you think they've lacked a bit of control today, Rog?
I don't know about control's the right word. I just kind of think, and it's very easy to sit up here in the cheap seats and criticise. I just don't know about some of their decision-making, but as I said, we're 150 metres away and they've got a lot better view than us. As the ball comes up the line, Keith gets a dinky little kick up the line, direction of Crouch. Jack Walker will beat him to it, though. Strong tackle laid by Crouch will force the ball out of play. So nearly 10 minutes gone the last quarter, that margin 1 point.
What I will say, Roger, is on these really heavy days where there's a lot of contested work, there's a lot of times an umpire's blindsided or can't quite see.
Yes.
And you would sort of prefer, which I think they've done, is to sort of under-officiate than over, and I think they've found that balance okay today.
Non-officiating umpires picked a free kick out for a throw.
As I said, under.
Which goes against everything that
it was probably
just
obvious.
said.
It might have been obvious, so
Yep.
that's fine.
Now, opportunity for Perkins to pound it inside 50 towards full forward. Big pack of players waiting down there was Maple. Couldn't quite wrap around to grab the footy out of bounds. It will go. 10 minutes gone, final term. Ballarat gets some desperate territory now deep inside forward 50.
What you like to see on a day like this, Nibbo, is just, I always try to adopt the strategy, protect the head at all costs, and then try and let it go. So if you keep that as your,
North Star,
that's the way to go.
So inside 50 here for the Swans. Drever doing the ruck work against O'Brien of the Swans. And the umpire's going to let this roll on for a bit and eventually say put whistle to the mouth and throw it in the air. So about 25, now 30 metres out from goal, let's say.
Who's going to step up here for either team just to take a moment, do something?
Well, here's the snap from the Swans to the goal line.
Crouch it was.
There's that man Walker, though, just mopping up. Deepest defender.
Good pressure from Ballarat. It just comes down.
Out came to Mooney for Ballarat. Went back to pick it up, tackled by Walker. It'll be another ball up. So the ball is on the centre square line at the Melton end of the ground. They trail by 1 point, 12 minutes into the last quarter. All the momentum is with the Bloods. Umpire throws the ball in the air. Hit out by Stewart on that occasion. Faruja tried to snap it well smothered. Kick off the ground by Drever. Foot race on towards the boundary line. Picked up by Melton. Sullivan was tackled without it. Umpire said play on. The Swans are out. Long kick up towards half forward. 2-on-1. Richard. Walker. Walker gets back. Slides in. Tackled by O'Brien. By a long way away here. He'll come in and ball the ball up on the 50-metre line.
Yeah, I just don't like that slide in together. You've got to keep your feet today, and you open yourself up for an umpire to call holding the ball. That's right. Go to ground.
Well, especially because when he gathers the foot, he slides so fast. So it's almost like, is he, got prior opportunity to get rid of it, or he's got time to get rid of it? Always a tough one. Puts the umpires on the spot. Sullivan, though, will get the clearance here for Melton with a kick towards the corridor. Bouncing ball. Keith against Carter. Knocked forward there by Carter. Fraser retreats with the hand pass. Dangerous kick out there by Fisher. Might work out, though, to Keith. He just picks it up and pounds an attempted barrel to half forward. Drever backing back, brought us to ground for Melton. Inside 50s, here's Richard for the Swans. Big tackle. Got it away just in time. Melton with numbers will clear. Kick around the body. Should be cut off. Mark taken there by Noah Drever.
So Noah Drever with the ball in hand. Got a hit up target in Perkins. Plays on. Just inside 50 on the left boot. Fraser Perkins misses to the right-hand side. Margin back to 3 points in favour of Ballarat. 9-14-68. Melton 10-5-65. Metro scoreboard.
How brave are Melton? Still plenty of time. 14 minutes gone. They trail by 3 points. Walker, long to the outside, finds the target.
That shouldn't happen. Should have uncontested mark 60 out and a kick in.
They'll go long down the line through Button, the centre wing, but he's turned it over going the other way. Mark centre wing now for the Swans.
Just need some composure, either team, don't they? Like it's the scoreboard's putting them under pressure. It's tough conditions.
So Hooper go along the half forward. Perkins waits down, but pushes the back, says the umpire. Maybe an extension of the outstretched arm enough to infringe and impede Cotter, who was in front as the Bloods look to go from half back and slingshot the other end. They've only 2 goals of the final term to make it a 3-point ball game on the Metro scoreboard. Cotter plays on, looks to access the corridor, sets a task for his teammate. Waiting down to Jack Walker. Coming the other way was superb, was Gray. Got a little toe poke, then got the footy back, and Gray goes long to full forward. Amar will take the mark of the Swans. Maple the deck had smothered. In the end, it's going to be a stoppage directly in front of the goal face, 20 metres out from goal.
Yeah, well, we talked about who might step up and take a moment. Luke Gray there just was desperate to get that fist on the ball and then followed up with a handball. Well played by Luke Gray. He's a very dependable Ballarat winger now, isn't he?
So 15 metres from the Swans goal. Jack O'Brien does the ruck work for Ballarat. Goes back in to pick it up and is towed again. So 15 minutes gone. 3 points in favour of Ballarat. Around 18 metres from their goal. It's going to be a ball up. Big chance for the Swans just to give themselves that bit of clearing space. Ball comes to ground. Here he goes in. Umpire's found a free kick.
Oh.
Kicking in
He
danger.
has paid kicking in danger.
It's been a hotly contested rule this afternoon.
Can I ask how that was different from Zach Maple kicking the ball off the ground moments ago and getting smothered? This one is no different.
And Fraser Perkins with a golden opportunity pretty much directly in front from 15 metres out. Big moments will come in. Pops it through, and the Swans get that breathing space back on the Metro scoreboard. 10 goals, 14, 74 against the run of play. They lead Melton 10-5-65.
Well, I don't know what to say, Shane Simpson. I'm not sure what you've got to say from our vantage point.
Well, we didn't have a great view.
No,
from
we
here,
didn't
to be
have
honest,
a great.
but it didn't. There wasn't like an excessive, exaggerated action or any reaction from players or anything.
Well, natural rule of thumb in these conditions, that kind of you tend to be a bit more lenient on that type of ruling. And then in that situation, so deep in the in the final terms, scores are so close. Big call by the umpire. He had the best view, so we'll back him in that he's made the right decision. The goal of the Swans, the result on the Metro scoreboard.
So play to get back underway in the middle. Stewart's went uncontested in the end. Graham didn't even contest it. Probably smart in the end. It hasn't given Melton any real advantage. He kicked off the ground. Haynes has been super this afternoon, overrun the footy, but it came back to Keith, who used all his experience well in this last quarter. Comes down the line. Button dropped the mark for Melton. It'll force another stoppage, I think. So 17 minutes gone. Handy 9-point break to the Swans. Can they hold on from here?
Huge territory. Big moment coming up in this one. Back on the way. Graham with the tap. Crash on the pack. Couldn't quite emerge from it. And in the end, Melton will go forward with the right foot kick. Off hands, on the mark there was Carter. Handball into the corridor. The Sullivans run down from behind. No prior opportunity. We'll get a ball about 75 metres out from goal. 17.5 minutes played. You feel like this game only has a couple of goals left in it.
If that.
So that 9-point lead, just hanging on by a nice edge, but in favour of the home side. Stewart tried to take out the ruck, couldn't gather. He was for a throw. Free kick, the result. It's going to get away a Melton from that contest. Walker, the beneficiary. He plays on. He goes with the right foot kick towards full forward for Melton. Big spoil from Haynes in front. Ballarat desperate to see it towards the boundary line. They'll get a stoppage instead at the 18-minute mark. We'll get a ball in.
Just with Keith being occupied on Carter, Haynes has played a really important
he's
role.
been great.
Just to be there, getting involved as a +1.
He'll be a contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, I'd imagine, Shane Snipson, as the ball's
certainly a contender.
Thrown back in. So Ballarat just forcing numbers towards each stoppage now, trying to slow play down. They know they're 9 points up. They know It's 18 and a half minutes into the last quarter. They just want to slow things down and win territory. It's deep in Melton territory at the moment as the boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Went over the ruckman head, which allowed Borg to come through. Goes onto his right boot. Clever little kick. Carter overran it. Keith got back, just tapped it in front of himself. Went back in and picked it up and got a nice little kick. Phillips went in for Melton, as did Jack O'Brien for Ballarat. Sliding off the ground, Phillips gave it back to Burke West. Kicked up the line, a mark taken by the Bloods by Walker.
The captain plays on the outside. The booty goes inside 50. Poor entry. Marks taken by Drever.
Yeah, just didn't quite get the connection he was looking for, did he, on that kick?
Looks a heavy ball down there.
Certainly right, Tristan. As Drever comes broadcast side. O'Brien slipped through his grass. Towards the boundary line it goes, and it's seen over. And there was just a couple little moments for Melton. We have the stoppage initially. Carter had Keith done from the ball up, and the kick was at his bootlaces, and that one inside 50 kick from Walker was poor. So a couple of executions with that heavy ball, as Tristan Ashmore pointed out, not going the way of Melton to get back in it. Spills over both ruckmen. Batty tried to go off the deck. Hooper dived in. Haynes again, tough. Well, boots the ball, will slide on, and we'll go out of bounds, and we'll get a lasso free kick. It'll go the way of Robertson, the way of Melton. He'll retreat initially from the Bloods. Get it to Walker, who's had plenty of it. His rifle kick's going to be pinpoint down the line. Thornycroft takes the mark on his chest. So Austin Thornycroft with it. Will chip it over the top. The target will be Carter. He's unable to get to it, and he knocks it. And the umpire says, lasso free kick. It was over the line. Liam Carter's furious.
So did the boundary umpire signal out of bounds?
That
the field
one,
umpire.
that one didn't. I don't know if that umpire.
Did he signal lasso, did he?
That one, the one.
They say it went over the line. Free kick to the Swans.
Oh, that's
unrealistic attempt from Walker. He's saying he touched it. Free kick will go the way of Crouch, 70 from goal.
So Brad Crouch, all the experience, just takes his time and finds it targeting Perkins.
Short 15.
It was about a 7 or 8 metre kick, I would have thought. Perkins comes down the line and misses the target mark taken.
Oh, hang on, that's late.
That's late. That should have been 50 metres.
The umpire's right there too.
Right in front of him.
Wow.
Hasn't been the greatest day for the men in yellow this afternoon. As the ball comes up the line. Good mark taken by Noah Drever. He's done some good things this afternoon. Plays on quickly. He's got a man all by himself. Around 40 metres from goal, and he'll take all the time in the world. Good play from Noah Drever. It's going to be, looks like his brother, Jake, who will line up around 40 metres from goal.
Yeah, this will be game over if he kicks this, I would have thought.
Regardless, we'll take his 30 and have a shot on goal from here, and eat away some precious time in this final term. Being lively with a couple of goals. Got the game started with an absolute ripper from the pocket. This more academic. He strikes it well and strikes it home for the Swannies. The double copper's out. He's happy with it. And Ballarat may have secured the victory this afternoon.
Alex Keith has just picked him up like a baby, boys. That was quite hilarious to see.
Jake Drever has 3 for the afternoon, and the Swans move to 11 goals, 14-80. Maybe an unassailable lead of 15 points in the dying embers here. 22 minutes gone final term, 15 points on the Metro scoreboard over Melton.
There's still potentially 10 minutes, though, in game time left, because we've had 32 minutes, quarters, and lots of stoppages. But you'd think it'd be hard to bring back 3 goals in 10 minutes.
It's pretty much going to go perfect here for the Bloods, you feel, to storm home in this one. Starts right here in the middle with our man Roger Legrand.
So ball to be thrown up. Graham one out. Kicked off the ground. Borg looked like he almost threw that. Umpire said that's okay. Kick off the ground came from Perkins to Simpson. Back to Perkins on the left boot, deep inside 50. Ballarat player's gone down. Richards, 20 metres off the ball, which has allowed Melton to take him up. I don't know what's happened there. There's a bit going on, though.
He's running off, too. Look at him, straight to the bench.
I don't know whether he's done a hamstring or whatever it is. The end result, though, is Melton have the footy. Brought out to Jack Walker on the wing. For the 1-2, gets it to Sullivan. Just got the handball away in time to Button. Kick long up the line. Looked as if Fisher was held. Umpire said play on. Farouk just got the ball in front of him. To be able to play, Fisher kind of argues his point with the umpire. So that margin is 15 points in favour of Ballarat on the Metro scoreboard, ticking up to 23 and a half minutes gone.
Expect the aggressive hit here from the Bloods if against They can get one inside 50, but it's going to be Farouj up against Graham, who's not lost a knockdown this afternoon as the monster from the Ballarat Swans in D50 this time to do the work. Ball in, shallow throw in. My favourite Farouja, got the fist down. Ball's alive, Fraser will clear. Bouncing ball's tough. Picked up by Quinlan, his hands, ball's broken up by Melton. Quinlan goes back and wins his own footy. Haynes will clear with the D50 kick. I know what a mark there was Simpson. Walker retreats back towards Hickey. Got a nice block as he pounds a high ball inside 50 again for the Bloods. Fisher from the side. Couldn't take the mark there for Ballarat. Ball's brought to ground though. Stoppage is a good result here to soak up some time. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll throw it in the air.
Tristan, what can you see of Richard? Did you notice what happened? Look, was it like a hamstring or a calf? Or
Yeah, it was definitely right upper leg, but not entirely sure the specific details of that one. I'll find out more.
Thrown in the air. Melton in attack. Fisher handballed along the ground. Wasn't able to gain any real territory, and will play into Ballarat's hands and force another ball up. 24 minutes gone. Maybe a little bit of time left, but 15 points is a fair margin to get in what is very heavy conditions with 20 or 30 players crowded around this ball up. Graham won the hit out. Simpson went in for Ballarat, handballed over his head in no man's land. Drever overran it. Strong tackle laid on Carter, and it'll be another ball up.
It's been a gallant performance from both sides in these tough conditions. The Swans with their a real change in makeup this afternoon. They're still found a way to kick a winning score thus far. Melton finding the good fight though, as we've gone now 25 and a half minutes in the final term. It's a 15-point ball game on the Metro scoreboard. 50 metres out, taking in from Melton. Has to go perfect from here. The Stewart appeared, his ruckman umpire said no. Quick kick forward, not required journey to Sullivan. Let it go at the last moment regardless. Picked up there by Maple. Stoppage the result inside defensive 50.
Some news from the Central Highlands. You might remember at half-time we spoke about Hepburn-Buninyong. Hepburn won by 1 point.
Wow.
Kicked 1 goal in the second half.
One of the great upsets.
And the Borough home. Big news for them.
Yep. And only, I think, the second win of the season.
That's right. I don't know if they won a game last season, so it's a huge win.
Inside 50 here for Melton. Phillips unable to come through with it. Ball's alive. Ballarat try to clear through Fraser. Didn't go the required journey. Simpson's been superb. He retreats with the hand pass. High kick down the line from Perkins. The quest against O'Brien. Hacked forward there by Simpson. Just a surge kick. Batty went between his legs. Drever, he just turned around and socketed it. The goalkeeper in Walker came the other way against Purtle. He just tried to move forward. O'Brien slides in. Cotter. He went without it. And in the end, territory and a stoppage at half forward is a big win for Ash Bakers, man. They'll be happy with that as we'll throw it up at the 27 mark of the final term.
As will Melton, I think, because it was 3-on-1 at one point there in favour of Ballarat. So they were able to just force that stoppage. 15 points the margin, 27 minutes. The scoreboard ticks over. Great roving from Button from Melton. Kicks up the middle in the direction of Farouja. Fisher's played a terrific second half. He's kind of taken Farouja out of the game to an extent. Very close chicken defence, and he'll be a contender for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, I'm sure. So Fisher for Ballarat comes out wide, and here's my pick for the player. I reckon Haynes has nearly been best on ground personally. He would be certainly in the top 2 or 3. Kicks up the line, finds Drever, Jake Drever that is, kicks it about 5 metres. Back to Perkins, left boot up the line, direction of Maple. Good spoil over the back from Phillips. It'll be a boundary throw in right in front of the change rooms here at Alfredton.
So Ballarat holding on by 15 points on the Metro scoreboard. Couple late goals in this term, giving him that separation that was desperately needed. Coming through the likes of Perkins and Drever. With the ball in, 50 from goal. Graham in the ruck. Was beaten this time by Stewart. Kick was by Batty, was picked off by Drever towards full forward. O'Brien, could he pick the footy up? Might be forced to hang up the deck as Perkins coming through there with Simpson. He misses on the wrong side of the post for a minor score. 11 goals, 15, 81. So Melton's 10-5, 65 Cooper Batty as he tried to kick. He cramped up as soon as he got boots the ball.
It was Cotter who took the kick out, and he's turned it straight over, kicked it straight to the Swans, who are going to enter Bring into the 50. Jack O'Brien on the lead on a wet day. Marks very strongly overhead on the lead. Wet conditions, and he'll line up to put the result beyond doubt. Jack O'Brien.
Good sticky mitts in these conditions. Like, that's a bullet of a pass from Fraser. Like, that's tough to mark on a dry day. And just had good hands to Jack O'Brien. He should be very happy with that mark, and hopefully he can, for his sake, and cap it up with a third goal of the afternoon.
So he'll line up from 30 metres out on an acute angle. Shane Snimpson works through his nominees for Sporting Globe Player of the Day. Jack O'Brien for number 3. It comes across the face of goal. It missed everything in the end. It'll be out of bounds on the full, and free kick to Melton.
So look ahead for the Bloods next week. A big game awaits them, of course, against North Ballarat. So long ball down the line. Keith with the spoil comes over the top and sees it out of play. He's just been such a good recruit for them in season 2026 behind the footy. You look at Ballarat in recent seasons, particularly behind the footy, their spine has struggled. To bring him in to straighten them up, it's shown why they're a real premiership contender in season 2026.
So 29, just about to tick over 30 minutes. That margin, 16 points in favour of Ballarat. Tired boundary umpire throws the ball back into play, comes to Mooney, goes onto his left boot. In direction of O'Brien. Was he taken high? Umpire said no. Ball went to Grant. Snap off the pack by Quinlan. It bounced the wrong side of the post. Through for another point. That margin, 17 points. 11-16, 81 Ballarat. Melton 10-5, 65 Metro scoreboard.
Phillips will bring it back in for Melton. You imagine he's going long down the middle. No, he's going to go out of side as the option, which in this stage is a strange option in my opinion. Ballarat get across and have the safety of the boundary line. Melton are able to keep it in. Just hacked up the boot, and there'll be a lasso free kick out of bounds. Free kick the way of the Ballarat Swans. In front of the Ballarat Swans coach's box, which very happy with how the results turning out as Fraser goes to half forward, fisted away by Walker, who's been terrific behind the footy for Melton to see that out of play. 31 minutes now gone, final term. 11 goals, 16, 82 on the Metro scoreboard. That's Ballarat. So Melton's 10 goals, 565.
Ball comes back into play, almost in front of the Ballarat coach's box. Playing for time now. You think that margin is enough as the quarter ticks over 31 minutes. Comes up the line. Strong mark taken in front by Battistella, who we had doubts on at halftime whether he'd actually return. But he's made a Lazarus recovery and played his part in the second half. Down back. He's very conscious of time. Called to play on by the field umpire. Kicks along to 50. He's going to turn the ball over. I think it's going to be, well, it should be a lasso if no one touched it. Boundary umpire says, nope, I'm going to throw the ball in. And he'll do so right on the 50-metre line at the Swans' end of the ground.
Result academic from here. Ballarat done enough in this one here at the Alfredton Oval. Melton gallant. The Swans just simply better when it comes to it. Can I add to the pain inside forward 50? Quinlan goes without it. And in the end, we'll get another stoppage inside forward 50 for Ballarat. 32 minutes gone, final term. It's been a wet, heavy afternoon of football here at the Alfredton Oval. Both sides battled hard and had a real finals-like atmosphere at times. Clearing kick from the Bloods might come back with interest as the wall of the Ballarat Swans are waiting for it. Quinlan retreats back. Quick kick around the body towards full forward. One-hander, don't you mind? A little one for the highlight reel, the finish for the Swans.
Emerson Hooper, he got that from his uncle, I reckon.
Yep.
It's a great little mark. Just leaned nicely and judged that ball drop and took it in the right mitt.
And he's had a couple of good little moments in his final term, but the real question is, does he celebrate as hard as the uncle if he kicks this? That's the question. You know, Andrew's one of the best celebrators for goal we've ever seen. As Edmonton have the family trait, as he'll kick after the siren here. As the Swans will celebrate another win in the Ballarat Football League. Emerson Hooper will shoot from 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. It's a 17-point ball game thanks to Metro. Hooper finishes it with a 23-point margin. And Ballarat get the win over Melton here at the Alfredton Oval. Go after the siren there to Emerson Hooper will make it 12 goals, 16, 88 on the Metro scoreboard. Then victorious over Melton's 10-5, 65. 3 unanswered goals to finish Shane Simpson brings the margin out for the way of the game, probably to where it sort of felt like Melton will be proud that they've mustered the challenge on the road like they did, and Troy Scoe will be happy with the belief that his charges were able to show. But in the end, they lose another tight one, and Ballarat continue on.
Yeah, that sums it up well, Youngie. They were there when it was raining and heavy. They got within, 7? They got within 3, didn't they, I think?
Yep, 3 points.
3 points.
Plenty on the kick. They'll drift right to left to a dangerous area. Oh, the mark's taken by the debutant. Martin. What a stretch and a grab from the youngster.
They'll come from everywhere. Every single one of them will go to him.
Martin from point blank range, and it's a good call from you, Fridge. Look at him.
Yeah.
Like bees to a honey pot. They get around the debutant, and Fitty has got his first at senior level. And what happens can get it done.
Fulton out of the park.
Cross
He's
the
kicked
money.
it.
Seesawing affair now here at Mattingly Park.
Will take the mark. Words did well against McDonald. He retreats back with the hand pass. Dumpy kicks it up. Black is bad. Should be turned over. Mark saved by Henderson from 60. He pounds a long one from outside the paint and all the way home for Felix.
Come on. Get him, boys.
But they both played well, to be fair. Crouch was the best on to half-time.